Twin Cities, double the dingers, double the hype, and wait, does that say triple digits?
Is 0-2 pitch. Struck him out swinging. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. 102, 103, 103. See you later.
The crew heads to Minnesota for a showdown against the Twins. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, May 15th. Your top story, middle school students walk out in protest.
I'm Telly Hughes in for Jessica Ty, violating a no-contact order from inside the jail.
Partly cloudy, breezy, and warm today. Could get close to 80 degrees inland, a little cooler near the lake. In fact, temperatures will be steadily rising here throughout the course of the afternoon. There is a chance of showers and storms later tonight at a low of 56. Currently 73 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:01. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, middle school students in Watertown walking out in protest over a song being removed from the high school's upcoming concert. The Watertown School Board voting Tuesday night to stop a performance of a composition connected to LGBTQ history. 14-year-old Connor tells WTMJ.
A lot of my friends are in that same band, and they are, very upset about how they didn't get to play the song they worked on for 8 months.
Students at Riverside Middle School in Watertown initially placed on lockdown by school officials, but found the school's pool door unguarded. WTMJ's Elizabeth Lintonen will join us live coming up at 12:08 with the latest.
The leaders of Wisconsin's 5 largest school districts are urging lawmakers to get back to the negotiations over special education funding.
It comes after lawmakers in the state Senate rejected a tax relief and school funding package earlier this week. It would have provided around $600 million to school districts statewide. In a joint statement, superintendents from Milwaukee, Madison, Green Bay, Racine, and Kenosha say lawmakers need to revisit the proposal because schools are hurting across the state. School leaders say without additional funding, districts could face tougher staffing decisions, program cuts, and more strain on local taxpayers. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A man facing felony charges in 3 separate cases, accused of calling the victim over 1,000 times from the Milwaukee County Jail. Amir Jones in custody on charges related to stalking and threatening to kill the mother of his child. Assistant District Attorney Jessica Baling says he violated a no-contact order.
Since Mr. Jones was arrested in January on the underlying case, he has made over 1,500 attempted phone calls to the victim. Over 300 of those have been answered.
The judge overseeing the case has denied prosecutors' requests to restrict Jones's communication privileges or release his bail. Jones has a new bail hearing set for May 26th.
A Supreme Court 7-2 decision Thursday ensures women nationwide can continue to get the abortion drug mifepristone by mail. This happens while litigation continues over lower court rulings requiring women to first see a provider in person. CBS's Dr. Celine Gounder.
Mail order abortion is more common than a lot of people realize. More than 28% of all abortions in the United States now happen through telehealth, where a woman talks to her provider online and pills are mailed to her. It's a little bit like how you get GLP-1 weight loss drugs or Viagra. Similar kind of process. And in states with abortion bans, providers in other states have been mailing pills across state lines, roughly around 100,000 prescriptions a year.
The Federal Food and Drug Administration approved mifepristone for use in abortion in 2000 and stopped requiring in-person visits 5 years ago.
And as President Trump returns from his summit in Beijing, he returns without a promise from China's president that they will put pressure on Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Mick Mulroy says it's a move that, even if successful, would be unlikely to force Iran's hand in the strait.
They are allies. China provides a lot of support to Iran. Iran sells a majority of its oil to China. But ultimately, Iran views the Strait of Hormuz as its only real leverage point. They can't actually fight the United States military. They're completely overmatched. So even with the pressure of President Xi, it's unlikely that Iran would do this.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red here this afternoon. The Dow is off 420 points at 49,643. NASDAQ down about 325 points at 26,307, though Apple having a good day, up $4 per share. S&P 500 off about 70 at 74.30. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
That's what got me interested in doing the Milwaukee Weight Loss program. That resetting of the metabolism, Lord knows I needed that to happen, as well as the coaching for ongoing support. They help me out on finding strategies to keep this weight off for good. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit LakeGeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
If you've been dreaming about refreshing a room or even your whole home, Steinhoffels can make it so much easier. With their Decorating Solutions program, you'll work with a designer who really listens, understands your style, and helps create a space you truly love. They can guide you on colors, layouts, furniture, even those little finishing touches that make a room feel completely yours. So if you're ready to fall in love with your home all over again, check out Steinhoffel's Decorating Solutions today.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Following a 5-1 homestand against the Yankees and Padres, the Brewers begin a 3-game series tonight in Minneapolis against the Twins. Christian Yelich day-to-day with back soreness after playing in just one game following an injured list stint with a groin strain.
He's an experienced player that knows his body and knows how to get ready. And, anytime that you have a player of his caliber, you want to trust him, and I feel like he's put in the work to get back, and we'll see how it goes from here.
Brewers President of Baseball Operations Matt Arnold. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:35. The University of South Carolina basketball program announces the hiring of Sam Decker as an assistant coach under head coach Lamont Paris. Paris was an assistant under Bo Ryan during Decker's years as a player at UW. And round 2 of the PGA Championship continues today in Pennsylvania. Aldrich Potgeier is your leader at 4 under par. Hideki Matsuyama is 1 shot off the pace. He is in the clubhouse with a 67. Matsuyama 3 under par for the tournament. Golf Major Update sponsored by Morningstar Golfers Club. Lush green fairways, velvet smooth greens. Play your next round at Morningstar. Visit golfthestar.com today. Take a look at your roads. The WTMJ Time Saver Traffic Update have a number of disabled vehicles on the system, and a few of those have been around for several hours. They don't appear to be impeding traffic and are out of the way for the most part here. 43 northbound, the ramp from 145 in Fond du Lac Avenue. Got the right shoulder there blocked due to a disabled. That's causing a little bit of a slowdown. Otherwise, our usual slowdown spots are in play. Eastbound 94, volume and condensation of lanes starts to begin right around 76th Street, and you're on the brakes till you get past the stadium, closer to 35th. Getting out of downtown, you'll notice a slowdown right around 35th Street, taking you all the way to Mitchell. 4145 northbound, you'll start to see some construction-related delays right around North Avenue, and you should be starting to clear things up by the time you get past Burleigh.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Here is the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy, breezy, and warm with a high of 73 near the lake, 78 inland, but wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, chance of showers and storms, mostly cloudy with lows of 56. Tomorrow, slight chance of AM storms, but sunny and warm with a high of 82. Sunday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers, high of 77. Monday, partly cloudy, warm and humid. Another chance of storms with a high of 86. Tuesday, chance of showers and storms. Seems like that's on repeat, but a high of 83. In Milwaukee, it's currently 69 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik, and in for Jessica Ty, it's Telly Hughes.
All right, so you're going through that forecast, Telly. It's reminding me that this might be a great weekend. Tonight might be a great night, actually, to get out and do that little, grass seed patching that you did, that you needed to do after the winter. Maybe your dog does his business right there on the lawn, and he got some dead spots. Well, rake it up, get the seed down, because the idea that you get some energy in the atmosphere with thunder, a little lightning, a little bit of rain. This is the week, right? Planters, get ready. Get that grass seed on the ground.
Yes, it doesn't seem like that frost has finally left the area. So, yes, you can start to kind of do your outdoor stuff. At least it's starting to seem that way.
12:11 here on WTMJ. Busy Friday of Wisconsin's Midday News.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number one, students at Riverside Middle School in Watertown in cautionary lockdown for a portion of today due to safety concerns over a planned student protest. A protest and planned walkout is in response to the school board's 7-1 vote to remove an LGBTQ-themed instrumental piece called A Mother of a Revolution from the upcoming spring band concert, affecting high school students. Meanwhile, high school students in Watertown, hundreds of them, walked out in opposition of that decision on Wednesday. WTMJ's Elizabeth Linton is at Riverside Middle School. Elizabeth, are things still on cautionary lockdown? What is the latest right now?
No, so I don't know whether or not the lockdown was lifted or not, but regardless, the students told me that they managed to walk out through the pool doors because they were, quote, the only ones unguarded, and they managed to accomplish this walkout. They are still out on the lawn. There were more of them earlier, but they are out here with their signs and chanting, and I would say probably about 100 of them, maybe a little less. They came out and they stood on the lawn, and they walked around the school. They managed to make it out for the lockdown.
Elizabeth, is there an expectation that the school day will resume at some point today?
Yeah, we've been hearing conflicting things, Greg. They said that they were going to keep the school locked down for the majority of the day, but then obviously the students made it out. So I do think school will resume now that things have calmed down. I would imagine they'd be back in class after lunch if they so choose.
Have any parents showed up to maybe pull their kids out of school for the rest of the day?
Yes, well, that was the big issue when the lockdown was happening. Many parents, either wanted their kids to be able to come out to protest, or alternatively, they had dentist appointments, they had doctor's appointments. And for a minute, we heard from parents that the school was making it very difficult to take the kids out during that cautionary lockdown. So there was some anger and some high emotions from that for sure. And there have been parents around all day kind of supporting their children throughout the course of this lockdown.
All right, Elizabeth, we'll check in a little bit later this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Sounds good. Thank you.
There are no known cases of hantavirus in the United States, Greg, but the latest round of testing of 16 Americans at the quarantine center in Nebraska yields 0 positive results, garnering a sense of hope stateside amid a global outbreak that has killed 3 people, sickened 11, and forced dozens into quarantine. Still, the quarantine period is just beginning for this group, including Jake Rossmarin, who will be held at the facility for a total of 42 days.
Mostly, I'm in a good mental headspace. I think I have moments that are hard, but overall, I'm doing really well here. Trying to stay positive. I mean, that's really my only option because I know that I'm going to be here for another 38 days, and if I don't stay positive, I don't know how I'll get through this. So I'm just trying to make myself feel at home here.
Meanwhile, the CDC said it is monitoring at least 41 people across 16 states who may have been exposed to the virus.
Coming up next, we check in with ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde. The Packers' schedule is out. Does it appear favorable on paper? Did the Packers have any influence over the schedule? We'll dive in all things Packers with Jason after this.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we help you find value on the things you value. So when it's time to take on a project, we've got you covered with the right supplies at unbeatable prices. Right now, during our yard defense days, save $5 on the state weed and feed. Rewards members save an extra $3. Techner Apex Heavy Duty Never Kink hoses, $5 off. And Fiskars Ergo Series Garden Hand Tools, just $9.99. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Well, the Brewers are on the road, but when they are back, you can catch a Brewers game at American Family Field. You can also catch the Potawatomi shuttle that leaves daily on days of game from the Sportsbook. Right next to it, it's called the Annex at Potawatomi Sportsbook. You can board the shuttle after you make a same-day sports bet or you make any purchase inside the Sportsbook. You'll get a wristband, hop on the shuttle. It'll take you right to American Family Field. No worry about parking or any sort of hassle. Potawatomi gets you there and brings you back. The shuttle departs Potawatomi about an hour before game time. Return shuttles begin in the top of the seventh inning. They go nonstop until an hour after each game. Become a legend at Potawatomi.
Hey everybody, it's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Access Legal. I see firsthand how hard Wisconsin workers push themselves. From the construction crews on the roads I monitor every day to the countless jobs that strain the body over time. For many, that wear and tear turns into real pain. My friends at Access Legal understand what you're going through and they want to help. Their team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers and will fight for the benefits you're entitled to as well. Worn down by work? Contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation. That's AXIS Legal.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Overall, very nice day today with temperatures topping out in the upper 70s. Could touch 80 degrees inland, just slightly cooler near the lake. Had that morning rain move out. There is a chance for rain this evening, however. Saturday, a little better chance of rain, mainly in the morning here with a high of 82. Sunday's high 78 degrees. Showers and thunderstorms are again possible. In fact, kind of a holding pattern there. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Very similar forecasts. Temperatures are right around 80 degrees with the threat of showers and thunderstorms. It's 73 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:17. Well, the NFL knows how to make a big deal out of just about everything, and they have done so here with the week-long schedule release. I don't know why. I mean, it's a calendar. It's a schedule. You know the opponents. You're just looking for dates, times, and I guess now streaming services applied to the actual schedule. Nevertheless, Telly, the schedule is available for public consumption, and people like me and you and our good friend Jason Wilde from ESPN Wisconsin like to dive in and figure out where the pitfalls are and some of the highlights. Let's welcome in our good friend, Jason Wilde from ESPN Wisconsin. Hi, Jason.
Look, if you'd have told me that Telly was going to be on, Telly and I have a running joke because it just irritates me to no end to have to listen to his incredible voice and realize how much my voice sucks by comparison. So I'm not sure I would have agreed to this, but again, we do this every time he fills in. He is so good at what he does, and I love him like a brother, but, it just makes me sound like that teenager that gets the sand kicked in his face on the beach compared to him.
We are all Sopranos in Telly's world. Jason, a big question on the schedule is I'm looking at this thing, trying to figure out, okay, where are the good parts here for the Packers? Is there a gauntlet that we always like to look at? What strikes me is the first home game is week 3. Do the Packers have any influence on scheduling? Yeah. Not necessarily who they play, but where they play. Hey, look at our deal here. We've got UW playing Notre Dame on September 6th. Our field's not going to be great by week 1. We'd love a little time to make sure that field is okay for an NFL game. Can the Packers request such a thing?
Yes, they can. Now, it doesn't necessarily get honored, right? I mean, Bob Harlan, the late, great Packers team president, would put in requests, for instance, and I'm sure we're going to get to this because it's a point of contention with Packers fans. He would always request that the second and fifth games, which go to the gold package, the Milwaukee County Stadium, State Fair Park, if you go back far enough in history, fans would get. He always wanted those to be Sunday noon games because they were better for the folks that were driving to Green Bay for them. There are other requests that they have put in over the years as well. Again, this is one of those reasons, and I hate it when media complain about access because they're being selfish. I complain about it because this is something fans want to know, and that's why it irritates me. I'd like to know if Ed Policy made that request because, as you said, the Packers have surrendered their stadium for the Shamrock Series for Notre Dame, Wisconsin on Sunday, September 6th. And I'm guessing that their grounds crew and their head field guy, who's an awesome guy, I'm sure they said, hey, if you want this field to be where you want it, we need some time to recover. Whether or not the NFL did that because of that request or it's just how it worked out, I'm not sure. I do think this, and it's been nice because between the three of us and whoever's listening, Tausch doesn't usually give me a whole lot of compliments, which is fine because I don't really like them to begin with. They make me uncomfortable. But I had made the point early on before the schedule came out that the NFL is a star-driven league, and that I thought that the NFL would want their TV partners to be happy, and those TV partners want stars. And I said, don't be surprised if this is a backloaded schedule with the marquee games, especially the Bears games, because they're going to want Micah Parsons playing in them. And lo and behold, those first four games, while none of them are necessarily cupcakes, even the Falcons on a Thursday night because it's a short week, none of those are super-duper marquee games. And even Amazon Prime gets the Packers again on another Thursday night later in the year. But they want their stars. And you look at that schedule, Vikings on the road, Jets on the road, home against the Falcons, and then back on the road again at Tampa. That strikes me as a schedule that's, hey, we want to make sure that if Micah Parsons comes back early for those guys, great. But otherwise, we want him on the field for the Bears. So I think that is also what causes the late season heavy home games down the stretch, which is unprecedented for the Packers.
Jason, that is a great call and a great point because, like Greg said, there really aren't any gauntlets until you get to the end of the schedule where 4 of the last 5 games are against Buffalo, Miami, Chicago, Houston, and Detroit. Now, if there's such thing as a gauntlet, that pretty much could be. But what other things stood out to you in this schedule?
Well, first, I think I want to give props to Greg because I would have appreciated it, Greg, if you had said this to me earlier in the day, because that's the word I've been searching for since I wrote the story last night for Channel 3000. Gauntlet. There isn't one. And it feels like there's always one, right? Like that is one of the things we look for when the schedule comes out. What's the toughest stretch? And we call it a what? We call it a gauntlet. And I'm just apparently getting old and forgetting words now because that is the perfect word, and there isn't one. But to Telly's point, there are some challenging games down the stretch, but they're at home. Like the Packers play 6 primetime games. 5 of them are at home. That's not bad, right? If you're going to play, if you're going to have to wait around all day to play, which players don't like, you're not doing it in some other city. You're doing it at home. Yeah. Secondly, all those games, it is unprecedented. This is from the Packers release yesterday, not to be confused with the Claymation video. They're 4 games out of the last 5 being at home. That has never happened since the NFL went to the 16-game schedule in 1978. And wow. I putzed around a little bit with AI, which is not my area. You ever notice AI gets a lot of sports things wrong, by the way?
Yes, it does.
And I made a claymation version of Ron Wolf because Ron would always look to see how many home games the Packers had when the schedule came out in December, and he'd get really ticked off if there weren't enough of them. Like he would complain to all of us. The schedule would come out, and we would all get to talk to him, and he would be ticked off if there weren't at least 3 of the last 4 at home. That was his goal. Well, they get 4 of the last 5. And so, yes, Buffalo's going to be a really good team. The Dolphins are going to be a warm weather team coming into the cold on December 20th. The one time they leave Lambeau after December 6th will be to go to Chicago on Christmas, which don't get me started on that. And then it's another warm weather team, and then it's a dome team. So that's a pretty good opportunity for them to finish the season with some momentum, as opposed to what they did last year when they lost 4 in a row heading into the playoffs.
So, Jason, last thing before we let you go here is just looking at this schedule. Every day is in play here for the Packers to play on, except for a Tuesday. I'm wondering how the players and coaching staff looks at that, because they're creatures of habit, right? I mean, ideally they would be playing at the same time every Sunday, just routine, playing on a Wednesday and a Friday and these made-up holidays of Thanksgiving Eve and so on, potential for a Saturday game, of course, Monday night. I'm wondering if that at all feels disjointed. I know every team's in the same boat or a similar boat, but it really stands out on the Packers' schedule, the days, the different days, and times they'll be playing.
Yeah, it's a great point, and Matt LaFleur agrees with you. He said the one thing that's unique about this year, because he did an interview with Larry McCarron on the Packers website, which is the only quotes we have to work with. It's probably the most unique schedule in regards to how many days you have off in between games that we've ever experienced, and that's because of what you just said. They're all on these weird days. 2 Thursdays, a Wednesday, a Friday. Like, it's just, and like you said, players are creatures of habit. They like rhythm. They like, okay, it's Wednesday. That's what this is. A Wednesday is this workload. Thursday is this practice. If you ask Tausch or Chewy or any of our guys that have been in the NFL, they would tell you they would like to play every single game at Sunday at noon. That's what they want. And so that will be the challenge. There may not be a gauntlet, but there is the challenge of the way the schedule plays out.
Always great stuff from ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde. Read his work at channel3000.com. Of course, Wilde and Tausch every day on ESPN Wisconsin. Check out their YouTube page as well. Always great stuff and great guests and great content from Jason Wilde. We appreciate it, Jason. Have a great weekend.
All right, boys. Take care. Be good.
You do the same. It's 12:27 on WTMJ. We've got news coming up.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. For pilots and aviation lovers, there's nothing like making a trip to EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. July 20th through the 26th, get up close to thousands of aircraft. Learn about the newest innovation. Get hands-on with experts and witness breathtaking daily air shows, some even at night. There's no better way to immerse yourself into the world of aviation than by checking out the world's greatest aviation celebration. Fuel your passion for flight. EAA.org is the website. July 20th through the 26th, EAA.org.
Hey, thanks, John. Looking forward to a great weekend here at the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls. It's our go-to place for our dog night, for daycare, boarding, and grooming services, and sometimes just to hang out, especially on Sunday because that's family day at the Hounds and Tap. So our perfect Sunday is a visit to the Hounds and Tap with our dog. We bring the girls. We always have a great time. We grab some food. We watch a bit of a game, get something to drink, and just sort of hang out as a family with our dog, with other dogs and other people. They have an indoor-outdoor tavern, big enough for everyone to space out and have a great time. The dogs love it at the Hounds and Tap. I see it every time we go. Our dog Knight absolutely loves it there. Top-tier facilities run by incredible people who are versed. They understand how to work with dogs, all types, all breeds, all sizes, living harmoniously at the Hounds and Tap. Check out their events page as well. They've got bingo, they've got cornhole leagues, all sorts of great reasons to connect with the Hounds and Tap. There is no place like it. The ultimate hangout for hounds and humans. It's the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls.
Wet basements and foundation problems? For over 20 years, Accurate has been the fix-it show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing. Whether it's cracked walls, drain tile issues, or water in your basement, they've got you covered. Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Call Accurate Basement Repair today at 414-744-6900 or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com. They're not just good, they're accurate.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Spring into better vision at Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. All starts with a comprehensive eye exam from a skilled optometrist. Takes a look at your eye health and overall well-being. Need glasses, contacts, maybe both? At Shopko Optical, get expert care and the perfect eyewear for your lifestyle, all in one convenient visit. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I go to the one at Hales Corners. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam. Shopko Optical, partners in your eye care.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, recovering after a house fire in Lac La Belle.
I'm Telly Hugh.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. President Trump is scheduled to land back in the U.S. this evening after a high-profile trip to China to meet with President Xi Jinping. It comes as the president faces new pressure here at home over investments worth millions of dollars in American companies that do business with his administration. ABC's Chuck Sievertson.
Trump purchased between $500,000 and $5 million of NVIDIA on January 6th and February 10th, say the disclosure documents, before the Commerce Department approved the sale of NVIDIA computer chips to China and before a major deal to supply chips to the tech giant Meta was announced. He also took stakes in Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Skydance during that bidding war. The Trump Organization tells ABC News third-party firms handle all accounts without the knowledge of the president or Trump family members.
And the Pentagon now says it's reducing its troop presence in Poland by about 4,200 Army service members. They had been set to replace an outgoing armored unit there. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. A fire at Lac La Belle leaves multiple people hospitalized. The Western Lakes Fire District says they responded to a house fire at Almer Drive about 7:30 Thursday night. Crews observed smoke and visible flames. The home's residents were treated for smoke inhalation. It's unclear how many were injured.
Charges has been filed for a man who allegedly escaped the Kenosha Correctional Center last week. According to a criminal complaint, 31-year-old Jonathan Taylor was in a holding cell while waiting to be transferred to the Racine Correctional Institute when a social worker opened up the food port to speak with him. He was able to reach his hand through the unlocked door, then push past the worker and run out of the building. Taylor was arrested in Racine near 13th Street and Lawn Avenue around a week later on May 13th. He is charged with one count of escape and is due back in court on May 19th.
Amazon plans to build an additional small fulfillment center in the city of Milwaukee.
Filed on Wednesday would bring an Amazon Now to an industrial building in the River West neighborhood. The centers are designed to complete deliveries of things such as common groceries and household items in as quick as 30 minutes. It's the second Amazon Now being planned in Milwaukee, along with a location in the Menominee Valley, and part of a larger rollout of the centers in cities across the country. Amazon officials haven't said when either new Milwaukee location could come online. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Construction is moving along at the new Nature and Culture Museum of Wisconsin in downtown Milwaukee.
About a year from now, it will be the new home of the Milwaukee Public Museum. Media got an inside look this week as crews are finishing up drywall, painting, and some major interior work. Officials also showcasing a 3-story collections display, massive staircase that runs through the middle of the building, plus the top floor butterfly vivarium that overlooks the city. Museum president and CEO Ellen Sensky.
You know, when we started, I think we all wondered, can we really do this? And we just kept on plugging away. It's now coming to life. It's very rewarding.
Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:33.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
We're in the Twin Cities. Double the dingers, double the hype, and wait, does that say triple digits?
Is 0-2 pitch. Struck him out swinging. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. 102, 103, 103. See you later.
The crew heads to Minnesota for a showdown against the Twins. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between.
Now through Wednesday, save on 24-pack Essential Everyday Purified Water, 2 for $6. 14 to 18-ounce selected varieties, Sweet Baby Ray's Barbecue Sauce, 2 for $3. 16-ounce selected varieties, Daisy Sour Cream, 2 for $4. Whole seedless watermelon, $5.99.
Safe.
What?
It's a long fly ball.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville Famous Sausage Race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here?
Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
Take your family to the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford for the all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry for $8.99. Wow. You'll pay twice that elsewhere. Desserts or buy one, get one free. Google The Mineshaft. Call and reserve your table, The Mineshaft.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Following a 5-1 homestand against the Yankees and Padres, the Brewers begin a 3-game series tonight in Minneapolis against the Twins. Christian Yelich day-to-day with back soreness after playing just one game following an injured list stint with a groin strain.
He's an experienced player that knows his body and knows how to get ready. And, anytime that you have a player of his caliber, you want to trust him, and I feel like he's put in the work to get back, and we'll see how it goes from here.
That's Brewers President of Baseball Operations Matt Arnold. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:35 on WTMJ. It's a little earlier than usual. The reason they moved the game time to 6:10 start is because the Minnesota Timberwolves are playing at a playoff game right in the center field parking lot-ish area of Target Field. You got the Target Field, and then you got the Target Center. Right? They're all right there. They're pretty close to one another.
Pretty much.
You got the Timberwolves playing a game tonight in the playoffs, so they're trying to control traffic as much as they possibly can. So that's why we got an earlier start time than usual for Brewers baseball.
There's no parking down there anyway. So,
no, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. Taking a look at the roads, WTMJ Time Saver traffic update. Usual slowdown spots here in and out of the construction zones. Eastbound 94, you are on the brakes right around 76th Street, and that'll take you all the way to 35th Street before you resume normal speeds heading into downtown. Heading out of downtown, you're on the brakes right around 27th Street, and touch and go here. Slow to the stadium, and then things start to gradually free up once you get around Mitchell. 4145 northbound. Usual delay spots here right around North Avenue, starting to free up once you get past Hampton. Southbound delays on the brakes for a short stretch here, right around Silver Spring to Burleigh. Again, it's all due to construction. In fact, there's construction absolutely everywhere right now. It'd be easier to go through the areas where you're not seeing construction-related delays.
Here is the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy, breezy, and warm with a high of 73 near the lake, 78 inland. but wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, chance of showers and storms, mostly cloudy with a low of 56. Tomorrow, slight chance of morning showers, but sunny and warm with a high of 82. Sunday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers, a high of 77. Monday, same drill, partly cloudy with a chance of storms, but warm and humid with a high of 86. Tuesday, chance of showers and storms with a high of 83. In Milwaukee, it's currently 69 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ news time is 12:39.
Well, 6 passengers from the cruise ship hit by a hantavirus outbreak arriving in Australia today for a quarantine period of at least 3 weeks. Australian Health Minister Mark Butler said this will be among the strongest responses to the virus anywhere in the world, speaking with regard to the quarantine period. Meanwhile, similar measures being taken here in the United States as health experts aim to stay ahead of hantavirus with frequent testing. Let's welcome at ABC's Jim Ryan. Jim, is it clear how many Americans are currently being monitored in the United States?
Yeah, and that number rose in the last 24 hours or so, Greg, to 41. 41 people are being watched for symptoms of hantavirus. They're being watched by their individual state health departments and kind of monitoring their own symptoms. But you do have the smaller group that is being kept at the University of Nebraska's Medical Center, where they have this quarantine unit, the only one in the country federally funded. So, yes, 18 people in quarantine in Nebraska. You have this other number, 30 or so, who are being watched elsewhere.
So what triggers that difference, Jim? You've got these individuals being held in quarantine. It's a collection of individuals, I believe 16 at Nebraska specifically, but then others are kind of back to their home state. So what transitions this self-monitoring system where you can go home versus, nope, we need you to be at this facility in Nebraska?
Well, yeah, the 16 who are in Nebraska, the 2 who are in Atlanta, they were actually on the ship. They were on the MV Hondius when it was evacuated because of hantavirus. The others, these other people who are being monitored, may have had contact with one of these folks or rode on a plane with them or had some kind of contact that's been traced down. There could be others who are added to this list of 41, but for now, that's where it stands. So far, none of them have tested positive. That's the good news here. But this quarantine period, this watch period, monitoring, lasts for about 42 days. Once you're finished with that, you haven't shown any symptoms or you haven't tested positive, you should be in the clear.
So from a process standpoint, Jim, how are the local health departments and local health experts where some of these individuals are residing back at their home and in different states, how are they working together to report information to the CDC to make sure that the proper steps are being taken at home?
Right. Well, yeah, and it's a real test of the network of state health departments nationwide and individual local health departments then to report to the state. So, yeah, it's just relying on that network and seeing where it stands now. It was really called into action during the pandemic, and a lot of things are similar to what we saw with COVID-19. There are differences, though. There's a vaccine for COVID-19. There are treatments for the symptoms. With this one, there is no vaccine, and there's no cure for hantavirus, this strain of hantavirus at least.
So not yet. So my wonder is, with all these folks at the University of Nebraska specifically, you've got quite a test market right there. Varying symptoms, maybe in some cases no symptoms. We know this can be asymptomatic, and symptoms maybe pop up a little down the road. Is there work being made toward potentially being a vaccine? Does this help usher in a vaccine at some point?
Well, it might. I mean, there's also the economics of it, right? I mean, when COVID-19 came along, there was sort of a moral push to get some kind of vaccine worked up, but there was also the financial push as well. So I think that hantavirus in this country, while it does happen occasionally, we saw that with the wife of Gene Hackman, that there may not be the incentive to try to develop some mass vaccine, may not be a need for it really, because it does not happen very often here in the U.S.
Doctors are warning that despite negative tests, patients could still test positive later. Is it clear how often these individuals are being tested, whether they're at home or if they're in this quarantine facility in Nebraska or being held in Atlanta?
Well, in some cases, it's up to them, and it's up to their doctors, But certainly if they start seeing the symptoms, the fever, the fatigue, muscle aches, and headache, it could either be the flu. In fact, it probably is the flu, or it could be this hantavirus. And that's when they're being urged to step it up a bit from just monitoring their symptoms to then, isolating themselves and then perhaps going into quarantine. So far, that hasn't happened. And in the meantime, there's a team of scientists down in Argentina. They have told they're headed down to that part of the country where the Dutch couple, the man and wife who are thought to have taken the illness onto the MV Hondias, where they were doing a bird watching tour, to see if, in fact, that's where it originated. We're still not 100% sure exactly where this strain of hantavirus came from.
So this incubation period of 42 days, Jim, I think it's interesting. I know it's not an arbitrary number. You're not just plucking that out of the sky. But I am curious what leads to health officials believing that 42 days, if you're quarantined for 42 days and you show no signs and symptoms of hantavirus, at that point you are good to go. At that point, being asymptomatic doesn't matter. You're cleared and you can be sent home.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's what they assume the incubation period to be. That if you don't show any symptoms by then, that you should be in the clear. I mean, it kind of might be arbitrary, right? They know that it's between 0 days quarantine or 0 days monitoring and monitoring for the rest of your life. So they tried to pick something in between, and then 42 days is what they've settled upon.
So to be clear, there are no known cases of hantavirus here in the United States, however, right? Everybody that's being tracked, everybody that's being monitored so far to this point, it did not showing signs of a positive test. Is that accurate?
That's right. Yeah, they're not. They haven't tested positive. None of the people in quarantine in Nebraska are showing symptoms. They're just waiting to see what happens in the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks.
Yeah, it looks like 36 are being monitored in Canada right now, also in North America, of course, with no known positive tests. We'll continue to follow the story. ABC's Jim Ryan joining us here on a Friday. Jim, we'll check it again next week. Thank you.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Yep, you do the same. ABC's Jim Ryan joining us here. We are keeping an eye on some storms that could be rolling in here a little later tonight. We'll get an update later this afternoon with Jacob Montesano from TMJ4, meteorologist on TV right now. So it looks like Friday night into Saturday morning could bring about a good deal of rain, maybe some thunderstorms. So we'll keep you updated on that. We've got the Weekend Review coming up next on WTMJ.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods has a great reputation for producing custom team apparel. We're total team outfitters and we can handle the biggest jobs. Our success in custom team apparel led us into group and corporate apparel. Plus, we have a full selection of promotional products for employee gifts, special events, you name it. And we've made it easy for our customers to firm up their orders. The group sale web stores that we build for our customers are a simple way of gathering all the information you need. They're easy to work, easy to understand, and with them you'll have access to nearly limitless options. We've seen that most times we're better priced than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer. Plus Nike and Under Armour choices that the other guys can't get. And we offer a huge brand selection from Yeti, North Face, and Carhartt too. This is Brian Burkhardt. For team, group, or corporate custom outfitting and promotional products, it's going to be really hard to beat our prices, selection, and ease of buying for any size budget and every size company. And that's why we always say,
you can't beat Burkhardt.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem. And I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Well, some warm temperatures today, a lot of sunshine. Beautiful day, touching 80 degrees if you're inland, just a little cooler near the lake. Things start to heat up a little tonight, not temperature-wise, more talking about storms. We've got the potential for thunderstorms later tonight and into Saturday morning. Saturday's high eventually 82 degrees. It's the beginning of a pattern here, really, over the next several days. You see a chance for showers and thunderstorms and temperatures approaching 80 degrees. So pockets of that time will be really nice, and pockets could be very wet, and we might get some warnings or watches popping as well. So be on the lookout for all that throughout the next several days. But enjoy today as long as you can here. It's beautiful right now. 74 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:50. A school board oversteps, Beagles arrive in Waukesha, and a bipartisan deal collapses. All that and more, part of the Week in Review, and it's brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go.
Free.
Fly ball center field. It's hit well. Grisham back. It is gone! Another Mother's Day miracle for the Brewers.
Pretty young star over there for sure.
Now back in the U.S., all of the Americans aboard the cruise ship where hantavirus was confirmed.
Taken straight to the National Quarantine Center at the University of Nebraska to be evaluated.
The president said the real deal gold at Doral in Miami, put there by great American patriots. It was blessed by Pastor Mark Burns. Gold effigy or not?
Have you watched The Boys?
No.
Creator Eric Kripke, the caption was, seriously, what the F?
As the draft lottery was being conducted, this story broke. Bucks co-owner Wes Edens was identified as the victim of a massive $1.2 billion blackmail and sextortion scheme.
Are they really all getting a check?
It appears so, at least from what leaders are saying. Republicans who control the legislature, the governor, you don't announce something unless you're pretty darn confident the votes are there to pass. So we'll say that.
School districts, they're going to be happy about some of these things are coming back to them.
Yeah, it's just a short-term solution. We've normalized these tiny little crumbs that we get. And it's
incrementalism?
Yeah.
All right, now we entered the point in the show where Gina controls the rundowns, and it says Starbucks summer menu launches today. Oh, so you do a mobile order, but then you put in the time you're going to arrive to get it?
Yeah.
My concern is that we would forget.
Oh, I wouldn't forget.
Well, we have you. That's a very good point.
Julia, the Beagles have arrived at the Humane Animal Welfare Society Haws in Waukesha.
Some of
of them are already out and about on leashes, just seeing what's up, and some of them are a little more timid. It kind of varies from dog to dog. The puppies, however, all of them are super energetic.
President Trump arriving in China for his high-stakes summit with President Xi Jinping. Overshadowing the summit, the war in Iran.
And keep in mind, Iran is the sideshow as far as the Chinese are concerned. It's all about the economy.
We should not be training little liberals.
Music doesn't make you gay. What they think is protecting kids is just close-minded bigotry.
The politicization of school boards, I know some parents think this is a win. It's not a win.
The search is on for a new president of the University of Wisconsin system. It's a 25-person committee. I am happy to step in as an alternate.
No pressure.
I'll keep that in mind, but I'll move you up on the list just in case.
Thank you very much.
In Madison, they're trying to sort out whether we will get those rebate checks and whether or not schools will get more funding. And it's not clear if there are the votes for this thing to pass in the assembly.
A few moments later.
There are 15 ayes and 18 noes. The bill is not concurred in.
What happened?
It didn't work, and all 15 Democrats held strong, voting against the plan and taking shots at their Democratic governor in the process.
I'm generally perceived as a pretty nice, calm interviewer. I'm not going to be so nice because I'm pissed off about this. Be prepared to answer the questions because you basically played the politics game.
You hear the word data center, people kind of tend to want to freak out a little bit.
Equating this project in the city to other projects in terms of just using data center as a blanket term, very different scenarios between those two.
Packers prime time.
The Packers begin the season on the road against the division rival Vikings.
There's not like a murderer's row of, oh my God, there's 2 or 3 road games in a row, or holy cats, there's going to be tough games.
What a week, eh? What a week.
I got big visions from my bird.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
That is the Week in Review, and it's brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Always a great job pieced together every week by Jaslyn Snell. Approaching 12:55 here on WTMJ, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Siding Unlimited. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want to hop into our show, hop into the studio, see what Telly's wearing. Got a nice little purple shirt under that quarter zip. Telly always looking good. Our YouTube page is always open for you. Find Wisconsin's Midday News. Follow us on YouTube.
Sophisticated and sexy, the Isley Brothers return. Their countless hits performed live. August 11th at the Bank 5-9 main stage at Wisconsin State Fair. Special guest, the Commodores, the iconic sound of the Isley Brothers. Get tickets now at wistatefair.com. Don't miss the Isley Brothers, Wisconsin State Fair, presented by T-Mobile.
Well, if you've been hurt in an accident, boy, it can really flip your world upside down. The folks at Gruber Law Offices totally understand this, and they've been doing it for 40 years in the state of Wisconsin, fighting illegal battles while you focus on healing after that accident. It's what you deserve to do. It's what you need to do. You can trust Gruber to handle the legal components of your case. They are a local team here, but a large and powerful team of attorneys ready to fight your battle for you. Community-minded, they support so many wonderful community initiatives, and they support those in Wisconsin who have been hurt in an accident. Gruber Law Offices, 40 years, going strong here with a family-run business with a large and powerful team of 30-plus attorneys. There is no cost to call, no cost to consult or retain the firm, no cost at Gruber until they win your case, and it's what they've been doing consistently. Servicing those in the state of Wisconsin for 4 decades. Visit gruber-law.com. Learn about the firm, what can they do for you, and also what they do in the community. Make the phone call if you've been hurt in an accident to 414-276-6666.
May is here, which means your house is officially done hiding under snow, and now you can see everything it needs. Good news, Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help. Upgrade to energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel, and get $3,000 off your project. Think of it as spring cleaning, but way more impressive. That's $3,000 in instant savings during our May savings event, but it won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
If
you are new to motorcycle riding, you don't necessarily want something that powerful or that heavy or that expensive.
Entertainment.
But to see Claire in her element, she has been having a moment ever since last year in Song Sung Blue came out.
And more.
It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and I want to tell you about the dentist I recommend, my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Conmawalk Dental Care. If you've been putting off a cleaning, dealing with tooth sensitivity, or you're ready to finally fix what's been bothering you, this is a great place to start. Dr. Michaels and his team are welcoming, thorough, and focused on your comfort. They explain your options clearly and help you feel at ease in the chair. From regular checkups to crowns, cosmetic improvements, implants, and Invisalign, they can handle it all. And if something happens unexpectedly, they offer emergency dentistry too. I make the drive from Milwaukee to Oconomowoc just to see Dr. Michaels and his fantastic staff. They're that good. So call 262-567-7224 to request an appointment today, or just visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com. That's 262-567-7224 or drmichaelsdentalcare.com.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. For pilots and aviation lovers, there's nothing like making a trip to EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. July 20th through the 26th. Get up close to thousands of aircraft. Learn about the newest innovation. Get hands-on with experts and witness breathtaking daily air shows, some even at night. There's no better way to immerse yourself into the world of aviation than by checking out the world's greatest aviation celebration. Fuel your passion for flight. EAA.org is the website. July 20th through the 26th, EAA.org.
We're in the Twin Cities. Double the dingers, double the hype, and wait, does that say triple digits?
It is 0-2 pitch. Struck him out swinging. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. 102, 103, 103. See you later.
The crew heads to Minnesota for a showdown against the Twins. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, May 15th. Your top story, the next steps in the war with Iran.
I'm Telly Hughes, in for Jessica Ty. A former correctional officer gets prison time.
Most of the day, beautiful, with a high approaching 80 degrees inland, a little cooler near the lake, breezy conditions. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms, mostly cloudy at a low of 56. It's 73 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 101. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson says the next step for the United States in Iran is to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Johnson says it'll be accomplished at the negotiating table and not with military force.
The president has declared Operation Epic Fury to have concluded, and now we're working on the next project, which is getting the Strait of Hormuz open. We don't expect that to be a warfare activity. We've got to allow the administration time to negotiate these things. The president has been doing that in earnest. The difficulty, as they've articulated in the White House, is that you got to make sure you're negotiating with the right parties, and it's taken Iran some time because the top layers of leadership were taken out to make sure the right people with the right authority are at the table.
Iran's foreign minister says that a lack of trust remains the biggest obstacle in negotiations to end the war, while President Trump is demanding a rollback of Iran's nuclear activities.
A judge declares a mistrial in Harvey Weinstein's rape retrial after jury deadlock. The former Hollywood mogul has been convicted of other sex crimes on 2 U.S. coasts and remains behind bars. But the mistrial leaves the New York rape charge in limbo after 3 trials. A majority male Manhattan jury weighed whether the former movie mogul raped a woman in a New York hotel in 2013. Defense lawyers argued that the encounter was consensual. Weinstein didn't testify during the trial.
Students at Riverside Middle School in Watertown walking out in support of the Watertown High School Wind Symphony after a song was banned from their concert. Board members voting Tuesday night to stop a performance of a composition connected to LGBTQ history. 8th grader Adele tells WTMJ.
Since I'm going to high school next year, I want to have this opportunity to play this. But after hearing the whole thing, I decided to stand up for the high schoolers.
School officials placed the school on a cautionary lockdown after a rumor impacting student safety came through. But the students found a side door unlocked and got out of the school that way.
A former correctional officer from Oshkosh will see the other side of a jail cell for sexually exploiting a child in the Philippines. The U.S. Department of Justice says Bradley Hounsel paid a woman over social media for images and videos of children. He then coerced a 13-year-old girl in the Philippines to create child pornography. Hounsel pled guilty to 1 felony charge of enticing a minor. He was sentenced to 13 years in prison.
For 177 years, Schlitz was the beer that made Milwaukee famous. And now the day set to get the last batch of Schlitz is on. Wisconsin Brewing Company will brew a limited quantity of the beer at its Verona facility beginning next Saturday. It'll be available on tap and for sale in Verona on Saturday, June 27th. At its peak in the 1970s, over 24 million barrels of Schlitz was produced annually. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. All sorts of red here. It's been a pretty good week overall, but the Dow's taking it on the chin today, off about 400 points at 49,655. NASDAQ down about 200 at 26,440. And the S&P is down about 50 points at 7451. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 105.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Now that the weather is becoming wonderful, let's think less work, more play. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited replace that deck, build the outdoor kitchen, add a covered structure. How about an automated pergola with automated screens? Let us build a space for you that you'll never have to paint. All you need to do is play, enjoy, live. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. The showroom is amazing, perfect to start your journey. Less work, more play, Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers begin a 3-game series tonight against the Twins in Minneapolis. Milwaukee pitching, the 3rd best team ERA in all of baseball at the quarter pole of the season. Jacob Mizorowski leads all of baseball in strikeouts.
Incredible to watch him take the next step in his career. I mean, he's putting himself in a category here that's really special. He's doing things that a lot of players in our franchise history have not accomplished. So again, it's a huge credit to him and what he's, the work that he's put in. I mean, he's done a tremendous job this offseason to come in and be ready to go, and he's one of the best pitchers in the league right now.
Brewers president of baseball operations, Matt Arnold. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:35 on WTMJ. Packers begin the regular season on the road against the Vikings Sunday, September 13th. The home opener, Week 3, a Thursday night contest against the Atlanta Falcons. And round 2 of the PGA Championship is continuing here from Pennsylvania. Aldrich Potgeider is your leader right now. 4 under par. He's through 6 holes. Jason Day one shot off the pace. He's through 4 holes today. Hideki Matsuyama also at 3 under par after carding a 67. Golf Major Update sponsored by Morningstar Golfers Club. Lush green fairways, velvet smooth greens. Play your next round at Morningstar. Visit golfthestar.com today. Let's get a look at your roads here. WTMJ Time Saver traffic update. Usual delays here in our construction areas. 41, 45 northbound delays begin just before North Avenue and continue all the way up to a little south of Silver Spring. Southbound delays begin around Good Hope. You hit the brakes a little heavier around Hampton, and you start to get closer to full speeds right around Capitol. And by the time you get to North Avenue, things are back to normal. Eastbound on 94, slowing down about 76th Street through the Stadium Interchange. Westbound on 94, you're on the brakes beginning about 27th Street, just a little after, and things start to free up once you get to about Mitchell.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Here is the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy, breezy, and warm with a high of 73 near the lake, 78 inland, but wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, chance of showers and storms, mostly cloudy with a low of 56. Saturday, slight chance of AM storms, sunny and warm with a high of 82. Sunday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and storms, high of 77. Monday, rinse and repeat, partly cloudy, warm and humid, chance of storms, high of 86. Tuesday, chance of storms once again, but a high of 83. In Milwaukee, it's 69 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 109.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik. And in for Jessica Ty, it's Telly Hughes.
So we got the PGA Championship on right now. It's round 2. They're playing this thing out in Pennsylvania. It's a reminder to me, Telly, every time the PGA Championship comes about with this new format, that they play this thing in May instead of August, and it's bothersome to me. It's bothersome to me because it all but excludes Whistling Straits as a future home course for the PGA Championship. You want to try to do this thing in May in Wisconsin? Ooh, dicey. Yeah, it might work on a day like today, but you might have weather like we had last week where it was 50 and raw on a couple of days with rain. So they typically had done this thing in August, and that opened the doors to more courses in the United States, including those in the Midwest, to host the PGA Championship. And Wisconsin, of course, played host to that on a couple of occasions. But I can't imagine that's going to be the case so long as they have this thing in May.
Yeah, but the good thing is maybe not the PGA Championship. Maybe Whistling Straits can get the U.S. Open or Erin Hills can get the U.S. Open. But you're right. It does limit the amount of places you can have it this early in the year. I mean, we're seeing in Philadelphia where they're wearing long sleeves because it hasn't quite gotten really, really warm there yet. So it would be nice. But the same way they changed it to May, maybe they'll eventually change it back to August when other courses can now become eligible.
Rory would like to see that. He said that prior to the tournament, he would like to see this thing go back to being played in August.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, President Trump returning from his summit in Beijing today and returning without a promise from China's president that they will put pressure on Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. ABC News contributor and former Defense Department official Mick Mulroy not sure that Iran would buckle under said pressure anyways.
They are allies. China provides a lot of support to Iran. Iran sells a majority of its oil to China. But ultimately, Iran views the Strait of Hormuz as its only real leverage point. They can't actually fight the United States military. They're completely overmatched. So even with the pressure of President Xi, it's unlikely that Iran would do this.
Also noteworthy about the trip, and there were a couple of different goals here for the president, but Trump is touting fantastic trade deals, saying China will be buying American soybeans and also 200 Boeing planes. The Chinese government, however, is yet to confirm those commitments.
Number 2, Oklahoma is the latest state to sue Roblox over child safety concerns.
Oklahoma's lawsuit accuses the popular gaming platform of turning a blind eye as predators targeted and exploited minors. The suit says in one case, a 12-year-old girl was coerced into sending explicit photos and videos to a man in his 40s who posed as a teenager on the platform. Last month, Roblox reached a $12 million settlement with Nevada Attorney General Aaron Ford over a similar lawsuit.
As our children connect online, we must be aware that there are those who would seek to harm them.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Oklahoma is the 12th state to file a lawsuit against Roblox. 3 states, Alabama, Nevada, and West Virginia, have reached settlements. Other states that have sued or initiated legal action include Texas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Iowa, Nebraska, Tennessee, Florida, and Indiana. The lawsuits allege that Roblox fails to protect minors. Roblox has stated it works to strengthen user protections, including implementing facial age checks and tightening chat restrictions.
Your daughter's a little older than mine. Was she ever into Roblox? Was that a thing when she was in high school, early high school maybe?
Yes, and I do have a younger daughter who I do recall playing Roblox quite a bit when it first really came out, but never heard anything about them feeling unsafe or anything like that. But I don't think they were that much into it. But yes, I know for a fact they did do Roblox or play Roblox.
So Roblox, for those who aren't really aware, it's sort of like the video game world that never ends, right? You enter this world and you've got sort of a character that you can dress up and make look however you want. It's animated. You run around this world and you enter these rooms where there are games. And those who play Roblox create the games for Roblox. So it's user-generated content. Now, for my daughters, it's word and math games, Roblox version of Wordle that somebody created. My daughters play that kind of stuff. And there are these worlds that you go in where you try and draw some things on your iPad, and it's kind of cool. But I understand because there's a chat function. And this is the big concern. This chat function, well, anybody could want to connect with you and see what you're up to or who you are, where you're from, maybe ask for a picture. And that's part of the big concern. So Roblox is saying, look, we've got safeguards in place. We always pay attention to what our kids are playing, and sometimes my wife and I actually grab their iPads and play just to experience what they're experiencing. Are people trying to chat? Are these their approved contacts that are saying hello to my daughters? We try and monitor that stuff as best we can, but they have never felt like anybody was trying to get to know them who they didn't already know.
Yeah, but you do have to make sure that they are protected because you do have 40-something-year-old guys that are posing as teenagers. And
exactly.
If there aren't anything or any restrictions that kind of stops that, then that could be a problem.
Number 3, time to make your travel plans. The Packers' regular season schedule is out. It begins with a Week 1 road trip to Minnesota to face the Vikings. Packers have a scheduled game for every day of the week except for Tuesday. Let that sink in for a second. The first of 2 Thursday night games begins with the home opener against Atlanta in Week 3. So 2 Thursday night games. They have got a potential Saturday game to end the season against Detroit. You've got a Friday, Christmas Day, noon start against Chicago. If you're a Christmas Eve family, maybe this doesn't bother you as much. If you're a Christmas Day family, this is potentially kind of irritating. Got your usual Monday night game and Sunday night games as well. I did notice this. The Packers have 6 games scheduled for prime time, which is a number befitting of a team that is popular and is also pretty good.
Yeah.
But 5 of those games will be at Lambeau, which I think is a major win for the Packers.
Oh, absolutely. And when you're talking about December, the last 4 out of the 5 last games are at home. I mean, that is outstanding. But I find it very interesting that the NFL does not care about infringing on other professional sports because there was a time where the NBA owned Christmas Day. And Thanksgiving was for football. You had your traditions where the Packers and the Lions and the Cowboys would always play on Thanksgiving Day. But now you have a full slate of not only Thanksgiving Day games, but you got Black Friday games, and now you have Christmas Day games.
And Thanksgiving Eve. Packers will play the Rams. That's a Wednesday.
Yes. So I think the NFL is like, look, we're going to do what we want to do. And we have the backing and the following to do it.
It's 1:17 on WTMJ. If the plane leaves at 2, why is Giannis showing up at 4:30? We'll have it after this.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Well, when life changes, who can help you through the process? The loss of a partner, divorce, maybe a health crisis. When it happens, what do you do? What if it happened today? Would you be prepared financially? Well, the Annex Wealth Management team and their folks have pieced together an incredible series here. It's called Women in Wealth. Women in Wealth, when life changes, how women can financially prepare for the unexpected. This is a seminar available for you May 21st. It's a Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Annex headquarters in Brookfield. It's a workshop that'll help you prepare for the unexpected, help you be more informed, all led by the experts at Annex Wealth Management. And they are the expert for navigating these and other complicated situations. We've had our finances with Annex. They've been managing them for going on 7 years now. It's been a wonderful experience for us. We are seeing the growth we expected. And in those times of uncertainty, when the market takes a bit of a hit, we understand from Annex what the strategy is. It's a long game for us with Annex leading up to our retirement date. And the team at Annex takes a close look at your finances and your picture because it's unique. And they've got a custom program for you. They work with what you got. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite, financial planning at all different levels based upon your situation. Locations in Whitefish Bay, the headquarters in Brookfield. They've got offices in Mequon, Lake Country, Appleton, downtown inside the Pfister, even Naples, Florida, Madison, Libertyville, Illinois, and so on. Annex is where you are. Know the difference. Visit annexwealth.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. I want to help you plan your next great Wisconsin getaway. I hope you'll join me every Saturday at 1 o'clock for Experience Wisconsin. We'll be joined by the greatest guests in our state who will tell you what makes their area so super special. We'll check in with communities, tell you about events, take you to some of the really coolest things to do. On this week's show, it is Langlade County and it is Kenosha. It's Saturdays at 1, Experience Wisconsin, right here on 620 WTMJ.
Overall, very nice day today. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures approaching 80 degrees inland, a little cooler near the lake. Chance of storms late tonight into the early hours of Saturday. Temperatures on Saturday right around 82 degrees. If you're inland, again, just a little cooler near the lake. Part of a pattern here, thunderstorms are in the forecast for the next 4 days with temperatures approaching 80 on each of those occasions. Not sure if we're in the washout territory any of these days. Doesn't appear to be so. Jacob Montesano from TMJ Ford joins us coming up in about 20 minutes. It's 74 and sunny in Milwaukee at 120. So the Bucks continue to roll through their offseason. The draft is a little over a month away, Telly, so we're continuing to learn more about the way the team was operating under Doc Rivers, and it's not the prettiest of pictures. Speaking with WNBA star Breanna Stewart on his Game Recognized Game podcast, Bucks center Miles Turner had this to say in response to one of Stewart's questions regarding team accountability.
We get fined for all types of stuff now. You guys get fined a lot?
It depends on the coach. So Doc Rivers, he didn't find anybody. Guys were late all the time. Guys were, showing up to film whenever they wanted to show up. Guys were missing meetings. Like, it was one of the craziest things I personally ever experienced. We literally, if the plane took off at 2 o'clock, we weren't leaving until 4:30. I'm being so serious, bro. It was crazy, dog. Guys were an hour late to the plane. It got to the point where I knew not to show up until like an hour after they said the plane was taking off. It was crazy.
So who's the teammate that's most likely to be late?
Giannis is going to show up whenever he wants, really, I think that it's kind of just came with the territory at that. And once I kind of saw what was going down, I was like, hey, man, more power to you. They ain't going to find you. Do what you do.
All right. So this is not good for anybody involved.
No.
Right? So this started out as kind of Miles Turner hammering Doc for a lack of accountability, which paints a picture of what you saw on the floor, which was blowout loss after blowout loss in the most disappointing head coaching tenure in Milwaukee Bucks franchise history. But then he spins it to Giannis answering Breanna Stewart's question. Well, who is the most repeat offender? Well, Giannis. He just kind of did what he wanted to do, showed up when he wanted to show up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look good on Turner for throwing his teammate under the bus. Throw Doc under the bus all you want. He's gone.
Right.
But throwing your teammate under the bus, that feels like a no-no, and it also doesn't paint a good picture of Giannis for doing whatever the hell he wants to do.
No, when you finish that interview, there is nothing that comes out looking good. You don't look good. The Bucks don't look good. Doc doesn't look good. Giannis doesn't look good. And being a person that traveled on NBA team planes for the better part of 10 seasons, as well as Major League Baseball planes, there is a certain code of ethics, and they don't make you sign a non-disclosure or anything like that, but there are things that go on the plane that you just don't talk about, and for no circumstance, because there's no benefit to it. What was the benefit of Miles Turner saying those things? Absolutely nothing. And so there have been people, media members, that have been removed from team planes because they disclosed something that has gone on a team plane. So, those are things you don't talk about, just like you don't talk about things that occur in the locker room. That is amongst you and your organization and your teammates. So you make a great point. Yes, you could trash Doc as much as you want. You don't have to play with him next year. But guess who's going to be your teammate, hopefully, next year? Giannis. And how do you think their next encounter is going to be? I'm going to say awkward at the very least, because I know I would come up to my teammate or go to Miles and be like, hey, man, what was the point of that? And why would you make me look that way, especially when you have fans that already starting to think that Giannis's attitude and demeanor has changed over the years? And so you are just really feeding more into that, as opposed to trying to debunk that narrative.
So it does paint a picture of dysfunction off the floor here for the Milwaukee Bucks, which showed up on the floor after their season that was finished the way that it did. Lack of accountability is kind of how the season felt overall. Doc Rivers talking about film study. We got to get into the film room. We got to go down and the path of playing serious basketball. Remember when the Bucks were down 31 at the half against the Timberwolves, and then there was booing on the floor, and Doc said this.
It's a tough game. I'd love you guys to go on that trip.
Yeah, blaming the road trip for the fatigue factor and why you got down 31 to a bad team or to a team on your home floor.
Oh, not just that, but they didn't even have Anthony Edwards.
Exactly. So I have had this vision in my mind, and it certainly played out here over the last several weeks, I would say, maybe a couple of months or so. That Doc Rivers had no business coaching this team, right? Whoever made the decision to put Doc Rivers in that spot made a mistake. It was a failed experiment, and he can call it a mutual parting of ways. Doc got his ass fired because it was a disaster all year long.
Yeah, but it also looks bad at let's not forget the fact that you fired a coach that was 31-13 at the time to bring in Doc Rivers, who was an analyst, and you thought that, all the great things he's saying as a color analyst could revert to or translate into coaching and coaching Giannis. But again, I just think that the Bucks organization was looking for something, and you go through two coaches in a matter of not even a full season, firing Bud and then bringing in Adrian Griffin and only keeping him maybe 40 games. And then now it's like, okay, what do we do? So I know exactly why they went out and got Doc, because of a name. It was a shock, like, oh man, Doc Rivers, a Hall of Fame coach, is coming to coach the Bucks. But it did not translate, and I'm sure they did not consult with any player before making that decision.
So this will be curious to see what happens now, of course, at the offseason. Doc is gone. It's possible Miles Turner gets traded. It's possible that Giannis gets traded. It is possible both are back on the same team, coached by Taylor Jenkins next year. Yeah. So the offseason of intrigue continues for the Milwaukee Bucks. It's 1:26.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, Greg Matzik here for Siding Unlimited, true friends of mine, and they've done incredible work at our homes over the years. Eric and Aaron Brown have taken this company over from their father, who started a siding company over 30 years ago, and today's Siding Unlimited is much more than just siding. It's siding, roofing, doors, windows, really anything to protect and beautify your home's exterior. It's Siding Unlimited, the best installers of high-quality products. They've got the awards to prove it. Top-notch installation by their amazing craftsmen. Homeowners rave about their beautiful windows, easy to open, energy-efficient Pellas, unmatched warranty. Ask about Pella, what else they've got to help you with your home. On the exterior, visit sidingunlimited.com or head out to their showroom near Gerke's Corners in Brookfield. It's Siding Unlimited.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Looking for a getaway with fantastic outdoor recreation? Sheboygan is a perfect destination. Hike or bike through Kohler Andre State Park and other local parks. There are all kinds of water sports, including surfing, paddleboarding, and kayaking. Sheboygan's walkability takes you to South Pier. Visit shops, play mini golf, and enjoy fine dining. Shop their farmers market and take in live music. It's the Malibu of the Midwest. Plan your getaway today at visitsheboygan.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, May 15th. Your top story: more clinics offered to test kids for lead exposure.
I'm Telly Hughes. Double-digit raises to keep the teachers.
Partly cloudy, breezy, and warm today. Overall, very nice day. High touching 80 degrees. Storms possible later tonight.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dabusky. A case against Harvey Weinstein has been ruled a mistrial after the jury remains split on whether the disgraced movie producer should be convicted of the rape of actress Jessica Mann in 2013.
The central point in this case was whether the testimony from Jessica Mann was consistent. Harvey Weinstein's lawyers have argued that they had an on and off relationship. And this argument used by Weinstein's lawyers successfully resulted in another mistrial last year. At this point, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is thanking Jessica Mann for her testimony and saying that they're thinking about their next options in consultation with her.
ABC's Peter Haralambous. Mohammed al-Sadi was in court this hour. The Iraqi national federal prosecutor says linked to nearly 20 terror attacks across Europe and Canada. And President Trump appearing to indicate he's planning to have a phone call with the leader of Taiwan over whether to approve the sale of more arms to that country. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. Milwaukee Public Schools offers more clinics to test children for lead exposure.
MPS will hold 2 additional lead screening clinics for its students in May and June. The first will be at McDowell Montessori School on May 19th, and the second at Riley Dual Language Montessori School on June 2nd. Children who are not MPS students are also able to get screened. The free clinics are funded by a nearly $400,000 grant from the CDC. The grant is providing screenings for up to 8,000 children. The Milwaukee Health Department recommends that all elementary-age students be screened for lead. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
UW Milwaukee gives pay raises to over half of its professors in an effort to retain faculty in high-demand fields.
According to our news partners at the Milwaukee Business Journal, nearly 290 professors in fields like accounting, computer science, engineering, and health get pay increases up to 20%. Raises were prioritized for those who were not being paid market rate or were earning less than employees of the same rank in their department. The money for the increases comes from the state biennial budget, over $3 million for UWM that also went to health insurance, retirement, and payroll taxes. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin continues to lead the country when it comes to getting rid of unused prescription drugs. The state collected more than 57,000 pounds of unused medications during this spring's drug take-back event, ranking number 1 in the country for the 10th straight year. Since the program began in 2010, Wisconsin residents have turned in nearly 1.5 million pounds of unneeded medications. Officials say the effort helps prevent drug misuse and keeps medications out of the wrong hands.
Some relief is coming for drivers on Highway 100, but it comes with a catch.
The northbound direction of Highway 100 near Hales Corners is about to get some breathing room after weeks of bridge-related lane restrictions. The DOT's Eric Hansen.
Reopening Monday, May 18th, we've had a long-term lane reduction on northbound Highway 100.
That stretch has been squeezed between Grange and Layton, but the barrels won't be gone from the area for long.
Following Memorial Day weekend, we will have a long-term lane reduction on southbound Highway 100, also for bridge work in that same area.
That next phase is scheduled to begin May 26th. Debbie Laziga, WTMJ News.
And Milwaukee leaders are launching another year of Peace Week activities across the city. Mayor Cavalier Johnson joining students at Milwaukee High School of the Arts to officially kick the week off.
So over the course of the next week, we'll be listening to our youth. We'll be connecting people to opportunity, recognizing those who are doing the work out there on the front lines and bringing our community together in really touching and meaningful ways all across Milwaukee.
The citywide initiative is now in its 4th year, focusing on violence prevention and community engagement.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
Sponsored by Redo Cabinets. Don't replace this spring. Reface.
I'm Mark Olson with Redo Cabinets. Redo Cabinets is a family business serving homeowners for over 70 years. Now we're in Milwaukee and ready to share with homeowners the benefits of refacing and not replacing those old kitchen cabinets. At Redo Cabinets, we use premium cabinet facings made right here in the USA. You select from dozens of colors, styles, hardware choices, and accessories. And during our Memorial Day event, you could get big savings. 50% off installation of a kitchen remodeling project and a free sink and faucet. Plus, no payments and no interest until 2027. That's right, 2027. Incredible savings. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory's arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burkhart.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Brewers begin a 3-game series against the Twins tonight in Minneapolis. Brewers pitching owns the third best ERA in all of baseball at the quarter pole of the season. Jacob Mizorowski leads all of baseball in strikeouts.
Incredible to watch him take the next step in his career. I mean, he's putting himself in a category here that's really special. He's doing things that a lot of players in our franchise history have not accomplished. So again, it's a huge credit to him and what he's, the work that he's put in. I mean, he's done a tremendous job this offseason to come in and be ready to go, and he's one of the best pitchers in the league right now.
Brewers president of baseball operations Matt Arnold. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:35. Packers begin the regular season on the road against the Minnesota Vikings Sunday, September 13th. Green Bay's home opener, Week 3, a Thursday night contest against the Falcons. Taking a look at your roads, WTMJ Time Saver traffic update. A couple of disabled vehicles here. You got the southbound area of 4394, just beyond the ramp from Beecher Street. Left shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Volume is picking up in that area, and things are slowing down as a result of the disabled vehicle. A little further south on 4394, the ramp from Howard Avenue. Left shoulder blocked there due to a delayed recovery effort. So you're feeling more of the delay 43 southbound as you're trying to get out of downtown, but starting to really pick up as you get a little bit closer toward the airport. 41, 45 northbound delays begin right around North Avenue and start to clear up once you get toward Hampton. Southbound delays begin at Good Hope and start to clear up right around North Avenue. Getting out of downtown right now, you're on the brakes around 35th Street and off the brakes once you get to Mitchell, just past the Stadium Interchange. As for eastbound 94, you're on the brakes around 76th Street and starting to clear up around 35th. Well, beautiful day overall. Get out and enjoy it. Might be a good night to mow the lawn if you can get home from work on time and get that lawn mowed before it gets dark, because you can see a lot of rain here over the next several days. And might we be needing that after all the rain we had in April? Let's welcome in Jacob Montesano, meteorologist from TMJ4 News. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, yeah, plenty of rainfall in the forecast. Thankfully, at least we have been dry to start May after that record-breaking April. So for the time being, we're not too concerned about an abundance of rainfall just because we've had a pretty nice dry period.
I was joking with Telly, if you need to patch up a little grass area, get the seed down today, right? Get it down today, tonight, and then Mother Nature takes care of it from there.
Yeah, we are going to see a pretty likely rain chance tonight, but for the next several days, it's going to be rain, break, rain, break, rain, break. A lot of on and off rain chances. So if I take you through all of them, tonight we'll see a line of showers and thunderstorms roll through the area, mostly after midnight, and they're going to dissipate a little bit as they move from west to east, mostly dissipating in the sense that they're not going to be as severe as you get closer to the lake, but still could see some strong winds and some hail with this line of thunderstorms. This will be between around 1 a.m. to 5 a.m., and some lingering showers are possible Saturday morning, but most of tomorrow actually does look to be pretty dry, and we also are going to see warmer temperatures. 80s are expected for most of the area in the afternoon. Once we get towards Saturday evening, a few isolated storms could be possible near the Illinois border, but otherwise staying pretty dry for that period. Once we get to Sunday, we have another better chance of some showers and thunderstorms. This chance will be most likely for areas west and north Sunday. And also will be the best chance will be during the morning hours, maybe into the early afternoon. But then by Sunday evening, it looks like we'll be dry again before we see another round of showers and thunderstorms possible Monday morning. Now, Monday is a little interesting right now because Monday morning will be kind of a hit or miss rain chance. And those storms Monday morning could produce some severe weather, but it's more Monday evening and Monday night that we're looking at for a potential bigger chance of severe weather. And the amount of rain that we see Monday morning could have an indication as to how much rain we have later in the day. If we have a lot of thunderstorm activity Monday morning, we are expecting probably a little bit less rain later in the day. But if we have a dry period, maybe a better chance of rain later in the day. But it's still 4 days out, so there's still a lot of uncertainty for the severe weather outlook, but it continues to show a good chance of severe weather across our area Monday evening and Monday night. Now, during all this, as I mentioned, we'll be in the 80s tomorrow, a slight dip into the 70s Sunday, but then middle 80s Monday and also Tuesday, because some of those storms may last into Tuesday as well, but the next several days are going to feel a lot like summer. Just got to dodge some of those rain chances, but there also will be a lot of dry periods in between the rain chances.
Jacob, something more immediate, like you said about the chances of rain. We're hearing there's a chance almost every day, but tonight you said that we will see some rain after midnight. But for the weekend golfer, is that morning tee time a washout?
Definitely not, because the heaviest rain will be gone before sunrise. Now, if it's a very early tee time, maybe like as early as like 6 a.m., be aware of that. But I don't expect to see much rain after 7 or 8 a.m., and even during that time, it should be pretty light. The rest of the day will be dry, but again, if you're not a fan of some of the warmer temperatures, be aware it can get pretty warm tomorrow afternoon.
Telly, would you like to throw out a hypothetical tee time for the quote-unquote weekend golfer who may or may not be sitting 4 feet from me?
There may be a chance. There may be a chance someone might be teeing off around 9:45.
Somewhere around there.
That's exactly the time I was going to say, because it won't be super warm yet, and the rain should most definitely be gone by then.
Okay, so should Telly be headed to the golf course around that time? You might be in good shape.
Tomorrow, right?
Hypothetically speaking, of course.
Tomorrow, yes. Hypothetically speaking,
Yes, Sunday, the better tee time will be kind of later in the day because there was a better chance of rain early, and that may last till around noon for Sunday.
Liking seeing that the temperatures are popping up here. Are we still in cooler by the lake territory with this next round of several days? I know there's instability in the atmosphere, but the temperatures certainly indicate some warmth coming our way.
I mean, definitely a few degrees cooler, but a lot of these days the winds are going to be more out of the south, so they'll kind of eliminate the lake breeze. Now, obviously, if you're right up along the lake temperatures are still in the 40s, so it's still going to feel a bit cooler, but it's not going to be a big change unless you're, right along the lake. But for the most part, I'd say most lakeside areas will at least get into the 70s next couple of days.
All right, good stuff, Jacob. We'll be following stuff a little later tonight, and we appreciate your time for joining us. We'll chat next week.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, it looks like late overnight tonight, early hours tomorrow morning, best chance of rain. I don't know if it's going to bring about any warnings or watches, but looks like you could hear some thunder, maybe see some lightning with those storms that pop in a little later tonight. It's 1:44.
Wet basements and foundation problems? For over 20 years, Accurate has been the Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing. Whether it's cracked walls, drain tile issues, or water in your basement, they've got you covered. Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Call Accurate Basement Repair today at 414-744-6900 or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com. They're not just good, they're accurate.
Well, the story of Horicon Bank is an unbelievable story. Greg Matzik here reminding you that Horicon Bank is celebrating its 130th anniversary this year. All sorts of wonderful events throughout the community and different branches populated over the area here in southeastern Wisconsin. And, of course, in Horicon, where Horicon Bank first started back in 1896. And they're still doing it, and still doing it the right way with financing requests that can be approved in days and not weeks. Your banker at Horicon understands you, your business, and how things work, how it all goes hand in hand. Check out their newer branches in New Berlin, Wauwatosa, Menominee Falls, Grafton, and West Bend. It's Horicon Bank, expanding, but still community-minded. Together doing good, that's the vision of Horicon Bank. Member FDIC.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, They credit 3 Pillars with living longer.
Schedule a tour today at 3pillars.org.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course. Rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 19th.
Fly ball center field. It's hit well. Grisham back. It is gone!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
Got him swinging. Threw him a curveball. It's 11 Ks for Mizorowski.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in May 19th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Greg and Telly with you till 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's Wisconsin's Midday News on WTMJ. So some of the nation's biggest cities are actually shrinking in population, while some of the smaller ones are starting to experience explosive growth. The latest Census Bureau findings has some interesting results here. It finds that New York City, while still the most populated city in the country, saw its population shrink by over 12,000 between 2024 and 2025.
Meanwhile, Charlotte, North Carolina added 21,000 people over that time. And the fastest growing city in the nation for the second year in a row.
Our small town's not so small anymore.
Michaela Everson runs a bakery in the Dallas suburb of Salina. And while constant growth has its drawbacks,
now that I have a business hat to put on, that makes me really happy.
Salina grew by nearly 25% in the Census Bureau's latest count. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Let's start with Salina, Texas here. So what is the appeal of living in Texas? Well, Telly, no state income tax. That stands out. Winters, not too harsh. We know that. Job market, pretty robust. And did I mention no state income taxes? That's a big deal. If you go to Zillow, and I spend a lot of time on Zillow, you go to Salina, Texas, spelt with a C, not an S. You plop in Salina, Texas, a little north of Dallas. And there are like 90-acre plots of land you can build, and this is all or buy, and then ultimately parcel out for a subdivision. And then they've got these huge communities now that they're being built. Everything's bigger in Texas. You got more space in Texas. I get it. The New York City thing I think is interesting as well. While you're seeing a reduction in New York City, this is to me like saying that the ratings are going down. Right, the ratings in the NFL might still be going down, but more people are watching the NFL than any other programs throughout the course of a given year. So while you're seeing a little decline in New York City, it's also still the most populated city in America. So not shocked to see that.
Yeah, but you also have to take into consideration there's a lot of where you thought, well, not thought, but in the past were heavy populated that are moving away from those places. There's a lot of people that are moving out of L.A. because it's just too expensive. And you'll find a lot of people that are transplants are moving to Arizona and Nevada where there's no state tax as well. And so I definitely get that. But you're right, though, with the New York City thing. If it's down, I mean, so if it's $1 billion and if it's down just a couple thousand, like, does that really matter? And so
You're
I
not
think
noticing
that's
that.
kind of the deal.
Right?
Yes.
You're probably noticing it in Salina, Texas, because the amount of
Correct.
building that is happening.
Yes.
So what does it look like here in the state of Wisconsin? Well, a couple of different communities are really popping right now. Eau Claire County showing robust growth, becoming one of the state's fastest growing cities. If you've made the trip out toward Madison, you've seen Sun Prairie almost double in size over the last 15, 20 years. You now have 2 high schools out in Sun Prairie. I grew up in Fitchburg before our family moved to Brookfield, and Sun Prairie was it was nothing. I mean, it was cornfields. It was a small town. And in Waukesha County, Lannon is the fastest growing municipality by percentage, and a lot of Lannon feeds into the Sussex-Hamilton High School. So you've got a kind of an interesting dynamic out in that area with a portion of Menominee Falls districted to Sussex-Hamilton, the bulk of Lannon districted to Sussex-Hamilton, and then you've got actual Sussex proper districted to Hamilton. You're not doing a lot of building in Sussex. That's a town of about 10 or 11,000 people. Yeah. But the growth in the Falls, that goes to Hamilton. The growth in Lannon, that all goes to Hamilton. It has people in Sussex saying, wait a minute now, we have no room for people at these schools. So now they have a big school issue on their hand, and who knows? Before too long, you might see a second high school in Sussex.
And then also you got to take into consideration all of these data centers that are being proposed, and they all won't be employed by Wisconsinites. So then you have more people moving in to some of these smaller communities and kind of creating, I mean, you can't just come out and say, hey, no more people moving to my city, but you may feel that way. I know for a fact that I have people in Charlotte that are starting to feel that way because they're like, wait a minute. We didn't want to live in Atlanta because it was too busy. Now you're trying to make Charlotte a mini Atlanta, and we don't want that. And so you're going to see that more often, and these smaller communities are going to get more populated because of these industries that are moving in. So you think when Buc-ee's get to Oak Creek, that's not going to increase the population in Oak Creek? I mean, so there's so many things that are coming to Wisconsin that everybody is not going to live in Milwaukee. They're going to start to spread out in these smaller communities.
Well, Lannon, for what it's worth, since 2020 has seen its population grow by 62%. And a lot of that is from building. A lot of that is just building on land that was not prior developed. It was kind of a smaller town before that. Well, now it's really popping. You got some beautiful homes being built out in that area as Brookfield gets full. Elm Grove is pretty full. Starts getting down Menominee Falls, pretty full. You start moving a little north and a little west, and all of a sudden Richfield, Colgate, you're tying it all to Hubertus in Hartford is kind of what's happening. Meanwhile, in Milwaukee, when I was growing up, the population in Milwaukee was right around 635,000, right around there, roughly. And now we're below 600,000. So you're seeing a bit of a decline here in Milwaukee County and Milwaukee proper, more so Milwaukee proper as people head to the burbs and getting out of downtown. I appreciate the mayor's sentiment in wanting Milwaukee to be a population of 1 million strong. Never going to happen. It is absolutely never going to happen the way Milwaukee currently operates.
Yes, especially now. I mean, you constantly bringing these property taxes are going up and the issues with the school district. There's a lot of things that don't make Milwaukee that appealing to move to. And especially if you already live in Wisconsin and you know that you could go to another county and get less property taxes, that's where you're going to go. You're not going to just sit here and take it. And so, yes, that is very ambitious to want Milwaukee to have 1 million people. But like you said, if it's already going down, I think that trend is going to continue as opposed to one day it's just starting to go up and everybody wants to relocate to Milwaukee.
Yeah, housing is a bit of a trick right now in Milwaukee proper as well. Interesting story here. I was like diving into that Census Bureau and to see where people are going, where people are leaving in some of those hot zip codes, maybe that you haven't even heard of starting to pop up. 155 on WTMJ, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast built by Siding Unlimited. Watch our show each and every day on our YouTube channel. That's always a lot of fun. Hop into the studio with us, kind of see what we're doing on a given day, on a given show. Wisconsin's Midday News. So many ways to connect with us. We'd love to have you along.
Sophisticated and sexy, the Isley Brothers return. Their countless hits performed live August 11th at the Bank 5-9 main stage at Wisconsin State Fair. Special guest, the Commodores, the iconic sound of the Isley Brothers. Get tickets now at wistatefair.com. Don't miss the Isley Brothers, Wisconsin State Fair, presented by T-Mobile.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage door authority in the state of Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here. If you got a busted garage door, don't sweat it. Give my friends at Geis a call today. Call Sam. Call the team at Geis. They'll get you back up and running with incredible brands like CHI and LiftMaster. They've got doors and openers for every budget, an unbelievable inventory, which could mean a quick turnaround time for your project, plus a custom design center. If that's what your project requires, Geis has got you covered every which way with swift and reliable garage repair solutions. Start the process at GeisDoors.com. Connect with this unbelievable business. 70 years going strong with garage doors and openers designed for you and what fits and what makes sense for your situation. That showroom in Brookfield, wide open for you. Hop on in with some ideas and thoughts and connect with the folks at Geis. Don't think twice. Call Geis and visit GeisDoors.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi.
And Kristen Bry of Point Taken.
Kristen, did you know that only 40% of Americans have done any estate planning and only 40% of those have been properly updated?
When it comes to wills, trusts, and probate, there's a lot at stake. I needed someone who specializes in estate planning. At Walney Legal Group, that's all they do.
No intimidating lawyers. They just provide customized, friendly, easy experience. They call it lawyering the way it should be. So whether you need your estate planning reviewed
or just getting started, visit WALNYlegal.com.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
Traffic accident southbound 894 south of Beloit Road. Do have the right lane blocked.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, on the WTMJ traffic tip line, 414-238-9329.
About 2 miles past Bryan Road, there is a car fire on the right shoulder.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it?
Debbie Lazaga, I want to thank you for the wonderful, wonderful job you do every day.
Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Take your family to the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford for the all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry for $8.99. Wow. You'll pay twice that elsewhere. Desserts or buy one, get one free. Google The Mineshaft. Call and reserve your table, The Mineshaft.
Save big money on everything you need right now at Menards. Get the long-lasting power you need with Energizer. Menards has the largest in-stock selection of Energizer batteries. They provide power for flashlights, remotes, and so much more. Hurry in, stock up on Energizer batteries and save big money. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
We're in the Twin Cities. Double the dingers, double the hype, and wait, does that say triple digits?
Is 0-2 pitch. Struck him out swinging. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. 102, 103, 103. See you later.
The crew heads to Minnesota for a showdown against the Twins. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, May 15th. Your top story, middle school students protest over a song.
I'm Telly Hughes, and for Jessica Ty, it's up to a jury to decide between two tech giants.
Chance of storms overnight. Going to be a beautiful day. Get out and enjoy it. Maybe get that lawn cut before the evening hits and those storms roll in late tonight and very early tomorrow. Our high touching 80 degrees inland, a little cooler near the lake. Storm chances tonight are looking pretty good. In fact, there are storms in the forecast here the next several days with temperatures right around 80. Doesn't appear to be any washouts between overnight hours tonight and Tuesday, but rain is a part of the forecast. Overnight low tonight, 56. It's currently 74 and sunny in Milwaukee at 201. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom happening in Watertown.
Let them play! Let them play!
Students at Riverside Middle School walking out in protest of the school board's decision to pull a song from the Watertown High School Wind Symphony concert. Board members voting Tuesday night to stop a performance of a composition connected to LGBTQ history. Middle school officials placed the school on a cautionary lockdown after a rumor impacting student safety rolled through. But the students found an unlocked door, and that's how they ultimately got out. WTMJ's Elizabeth Linton will join us in studio coming up at 2:15.
The leaders of Wisconsin's 5 largest school districts are urging lawmakers to get back to negotiations over special education funding.
It comes after lawmakers in the state Senate rejected a tax relief and school funding package earlier this week. It would have provided around $600 million to school districts statewide. In a joint statement, superintendents from Milwaukee, Madison, Green Bay, Racine, and Kenosha say lawmakers need to revisit the proposal because schools are hurting across the state. School leaders say without additional funding, districts could face tougher staffing decisions, program cuts, and more strain on local taxpayers. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A fire at a Lac La Belle home leaves multiple people hospitalized. The Western Lakes Fire Department in district says they responded to a house fire near Almar Drive about 7:30 Thursday night. Crews observed smoke and visible flames. The home's residents were treated for smoke inhalation. It's unclear how many were injured.
A California jury will start deliberations next week in the civil trial, putting 2 tech billionaires against each other. Elon Musk issuing OpenAI's Sam Altman and his top deputy, accusing them of betraying plans to keep the artificial intelligence lab nonprofit. ABC's James Sample says the burden of proof rests on Musk.
Musk has the higher mountain to climb, and he actually has a preliminary matter that he must persuade the jurors of initially, which is to say the jury must find preliminarily that he brought this claim within the statute of limitations. There is a significant argument that this case was past the statute of limitations. If the jury finds that, they don't even need to get to the merits of the question.
The main question for jurors to decide is if Altman's OpenAI stole a charity when it took investments from Microsoft, or whether Musk is just bitter because he left the enterprise.
During National Police Week, the nation remembers officers who gave their lives in the line of duty and those who continue to serve and protect our communities. This week ends with Peace Officers Memorial Day on May 15th. Vice President J.D. Vance speaking at a ceremony outside the U.S. Capitol.
And today we remember men and women in uniform who laid down their lives answering that exact same call.
Milwaukee Police Officer Kendall Corder and Racine County Deputy Sheriff Joshua LaForge had their names added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow continues to drag down the markets here today. It's off about 500 points at 49,568. Not a great day for the NASDAQ, however, with a 300-point deficit at 26,347. And the S&P is off about 70 at 7431. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:05.
Networks, streaming services, retail chains, and tech giants are all adding plus to their names. But where did the concept originate? We may be biased, but we think these big wigs found their inspiration for plus at Hasseless Mattress. Hasseless showrooms are employee-free. Give your mattress a try with no pushy sales guy. Plus, our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $293. Plus, unbeatable prices on Tempur-Pedic. Plus, free next day delivery and setup. Plus, free haul away and disposal of your old mattress. plus 60-month interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic with approved credit, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card with your Tempur-Pedic mattress, plus a ruggedly handsome spokesman with a smooth radio voice. Get all this, plus a whole lot more when you shop at Hassellus Mattress. Or maybe we should change our name to Hassellus Plus. Nah. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hassellus.com.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty each weekday.
This is a deep cut. I like this song. I'm gonna buy this song, so tell me what it is.
Nobody does it like McFarlane. It's AI generated 90s R&B featuring our favorite Chief Washington correspondent. It's you, buddy.
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with our Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, powered by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Are you like me? Do you stress about your home, how it looks, or maybe you're worried about something leaking? Well, you can live with peace of mind and without stress by getting a new roof from Tri-County Contracting. Get yourself a free instant roof quote right now. Go to TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's that easy. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Following a 5-1 homestand against the Yankees and Padres, the Brewers begin a 3-game series tonight in Minneapolis against the Twins. Christian Yelich day-to-day with back soreness after playing just one game following an injured list stint with a groin strain.
He's an experienced player that knows his body and knows how to get ready. And anytime that you have a player of his caliber, you want to trust him, and I feel like he's put in the work to get back, and we'll see how it goes from here.
That's Brewers President of Baseball Operations Matt Arnold. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:35. The University of South Carolina basketball program announces the hiring of Sam Decker as an assistant coach under Lamont Paris. Paris was an assistant under Bo Ryan during Decker's years as a player at Wisconsin. And round 2 of the PGA Championship continues from Pennsylvania. Aldrich Potgieter is your leader at 5 under par. He's through 9 holes today. Jason Day is a couple of shots off the pace. So is Hideki Matsuyama. A couple of notable names from the leaderboard. Scotty Scheffler, world number 1 player, currently in 8th place at 2 under par. He's in the clubhouse with a round 2 score of 71. Golf Major Update sponsored by Morningstar Golfers Club. Lush green fairways, velvet smooth greens, beautiful course. Play your next round at Morningstar. Visit golfthestar.com today. Taking a look at the roads, a WTMJ Time Saver traffic update. Starting to see some volume pick up here, especially on 43. You've got some pretty big delays beginning right around Walnut Street, extending all the way through the Marquette interchange. You are really on the brakes as you get just past the interchange, approaching Walker's Point area. So just before National, you start to see those delays really pick up. And they extend rather far south here, down past Lincoln Avenue. One of the issues here, you've got just beyond the ramp at Beach, or the left shoulder block due to a disabled vehicle. That is slowing things down. You've got some usual delays, just kind of natural for this time of day, passing through that area. So if you got plans to head to the airport, may want to seek an alternate route if you're beginning that journey north of downtown. Eastbound 94, you are slowing down around 76th Street and remaining slow on and off the brakes till about 35th Street. Westbound delays begin around 35th, and things start to free up once you get to Mitchell, so just past the stadium. 4145 northbound, you're on the brakes pretty heavy around North Avenue, all the way up to about Capitol Drive. Southbound delays begin around Good Hope, and you should be back to normal freeway speeds once you get past Capitol.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, supporting communities and residents through advocacy, education, and service. Where you live matters. Get the answers you and your family need about assisted living in Wisconsin. Start with clear, trusted guidance by visiting whereyouLiveMatters.org today.
Here is the WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight. Chance of showers and storms, mostly cloudy with a low of 56. Tomorrow, slight chance of AM storms, but sunny and warm afterwards with a high of 82. Sunday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers with a high of 77. Monday, Partly cloudy, warm, and humid with a chance of storms with a high of 86. Tuesday, chance of showers and storms with a high of 83. In Milwaukee, it's 72 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik, and in for Jessica Ty, it's Telly Hughes.
Happy to be with you on a Friday. It's 2:10 here on WTMJ. Greg and Telly with you till 3 o'clock this afternoon. I've got an abbreviated Wisconsin's afternoon news coming up because we get Brewers baseball beginning at 5:35. If you got a pocket schedule at home, you're likely wondering, what about that early start time? What's happening here? Well, they moved it up in Minneapolis because not only are the Twins and Brewers playing, but the Minnesota Timberwolves are playing the San Antonio Spurs in a playoff basketball game later tonight in Minneapolis. So they wanted to better control the traffic in that area, I guess. And they've got the Brewers game starting about an hour early. So for those who are wondering and hitting the text line saying, hey, what's the deal? What gives? Why is this game starting early? It's more to do with what's happening in Minneapolis with regard to their basketball team.
Yeah, let's just hope that couple of hours early start will help things out. I personally don't think it's going to help out at all. I mean, that downtown Minneapolis is very congested, and you have a playoff game and a Brewers game against the Twins, and their stadiums are literally like 500 feet apart. So I think it's going to be interesting, but we'll see.
Well, plenty of tickets available for Brewers fans would be my guess. The Twins aren't playing very well right now, and the Timberwolves and Spurs are locked down in a pretty entertaining series.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Been hearing a lot of discussion about Waymo vehicles. Telly, you might be familiar with Waymo. I know your daughter goes to Arizona State, and Waymo and Arizona, well, they're two peas in a pod. Waymo, these driverless vehicles, these little mini Jaguar SUVs that look like spaceships with wheels rolling around autonomously, self-driving taxis, essentially. Mm-hmm. Well, Waymo's starting to pop up in different communities around the United States, and primarily warm weather communities, though they are planning expansion into Detroit in 2026 to try and feel out if they could eventually end up in cities where winter weather is a thing.
I don't think that's going to work.
Well, they're expanding to Atlanta, and a particular neighborhood. Well, it's some interesting activity with the Waymos.
Each day, dozens of the autonomous cars circle the cul-de-sac at the end of Battleview Drive. The cars are empty and are not picking anyone up.
Yesterday morning, we had 50 cars that came through between 6 and 7.
This neighbor says when they put one of those kid-shaped neon green children at play signs in the road to block the Waymos.
We had at one point 8 Waymos that were stuck trying to figure out how to turn around.
Waymo says it is addressing the problem.
Just doesn't feel safe to have that traffic.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Things are just driving around a subdivision. They're just like one after the other. Like, what is this?
I'm like, hey, where are these guys coming from?
It's very strange, right? I mean, that's part of the intrigue with Waymo is what they're able to do and what they're able to navigate. But it seems like when things go wrong, you try and figure out, well, how in the heck do you correct it? My big wonder is, where does the Waymo go after it drops somebody off? There might be another ride, but is there a charging station that it goes to and somebody has to physically get it back charged and ready to go? That's kind of a confusing thing to me. But yeah, you're seeing instances where these Waymos are not recognizing some of the traffic patterns or things that are happening, maybe not merging properly because of construction in a given area. Yeah. They're not really built for freeways yet for obvious reasons. That'll change, I think, eventually. But in this case, in an Atlanta neighborhood, a subdivision, he had like 8 of them just driving around in circles because they couldn't figure out how to get out.
That is amazing. I know my daughter, she said that it took her a while to warm up to the Waymo, but she said she took it a couple times. But there were times where we would see things when it goes wrong, like it'll get stuck on a train track or something, or if they're approaching flood waters, they don't really know what to do. They think they can go through it, and then eventually they can't. But in terms of the Detroit thing, I just don't know how this is going to work in cold climate cities because there are too many inclement weathers that this car, I don't think, is really equipped to work. To function. Because they've never seen 6 inches of snow. They don't know if there's black ice. Maybe they'll have sensors and things like that, but I just think that it'll be extremely tough to do Waymo in cold climate cities. But we'll see. There are no known cases of hantavirus in the United States. The latest round of testing of 16 Americans at the quarantine center in Nebraska yields 0 positive results, garnering a sense of hope stateside amid a global outbreak that has killed 3 people, sickened 11, and forced dozens into quarantine. Still, the quarantine period is just beginning for this group, including Jake Rossmarin, who will be held at the facility for a total of 42 days.
Mostly, I'm in a good mental headspace. I think I have moments that are hard, but overall, I'm doing really well here. Trying to stay positive. I mean, that's really my only option because I know that I'm going to be here for another 38 days, and if I don't stay positive, I don't know how I'll get through this. So I'm just trying to make myself feel at home here.
Meanwhile, the CDC said it is monitoring at least 41 people across 16 states who may have been exposed to the virus.
It's 2:16 on WTMJ. Coming up next, Elizabeth Linton is back from the situation at a middle school in Watertown where a planned walkout was thwarted. We're getting new information on that. We'll bring it to you after this.
No matter the month, no matter the time of year, a Wisconsin fish fry is a great tradition. WTMJ's John Mercure. Another great tradition is that fish fry at the famous Fox and Hounds. Experience 90 years of history at the Fox and Hounds, the Up North Log Cabin Supper Club near Holy Hill. The fish fry there, one of the best, and all of the dinners, by the way, are get one free when you buy one. Honey glazed salmon, pan-fried walleye, steak and lobster, prime rib on Saturday, any entree, buy one, get one free. Desserts and ice cream drinks. Yummy, and buy one, get one free. After a long week, relax with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, 100 wines, 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds, kind of hugged by the Kettle Moraine Forest. Right off Highway 167 near beautiful Holy Hill. The Spring Drive is stunning, a must-see. Serving Saturday lunch from 11 till 2. Dinner today at 4 p.m. Dine early. Tables are open. Google, call, and reserve your all-you-care-to-eat fish fry. All other dinners, buy one, get one free. The famous Fox and Hounds.
A new deck from Outdoor Living Unlimited is built to last. We are Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team. For amazing ideas, go to Outdoor Living Unlimited's Instagram page. For a free estimate, go to OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Picture this, a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick 9 after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone, year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit RacineCountryClub.com.
Well, beautiful day today. Plenty of sunshine. Will top out about 80 degrees inland, a little cooler near the lake. Storms expected to roll in later tonight in the late overnight hours, early morning hours on Saturday. Just got an updated forecast from NIS as I started talking here. He says Saturday, mostly sunny and warm, slight chance of storms along the Illinois state line. That's your primary area after storms likely later tonight. Tonight's low, 60, tomorrow's high, 82. Sunday, mostly cloudy with midday rain possible and a high of 75. Monday, partly cloudy, warm and humid, scattered thunderstorms. Some could be severe, high 83. Tuesday, chance of showers early, then partly cloudy, a high of 73. 74 and sunny in Milwaukee at 219. So, developing story in the town of Watertown. Riverside Middle School students today had planned a protest, a walkout in response to the school board's 7-1 vote to remove an LGBTQ-themed instrumental piece from the high school spring band concert. You might recall hundreds of Watertown high school students walking out in opposition of that decision on Wednesday. Well, students at Riverside Middle School had planned to do it today. And then we learned that the school was on a cautionary lockdown. Elizabeth Linton made the trip out to Watertown. She is now back with us in studio with the latest. So what actually prompted the lockdown? Was it because of a protest or was it because of something else?
So the initial impression was that it was because of the protest. However, I spoke with a school official as I was on my way out, and she said that the reason they had propped in the lock-in in the first place was because there was a threat called in of someone threatening to do a drive-by shooting. And so there was a threat that they had to investigate, like, externally. Again, this is all alleged because we're working through finding these details. It's still pretty fresh, but this is what I heard from one of the school officials who was out monitoring the situation, was that there was a threat called in for a drive-by shooting, and that's why they locked the kids in the school. However, obviously, they were unsuccessful in keeping them in the school for very long.
Yes, it seemed like these middle schoolers had their agenda and they were going to carry it out. And they went through, it seems like, a few obstacles to make sure this happened.
Yes. So I spoke to several of them with parent permission, of course. One of them was 14-year-old Connor. He was very passionate about getting out of the school today. Apparently a lot of them got together last night and made homemade signs for this walkout. So he was very passionate. He told me this.
We forced our way out of the school because they wouldn't let us out. So, yeah, and when they finally let us out of our classrooms, we forced our way out through the pool door since that was the only one unguarded.
Yeah, so that's from 14-year-old Connor.
Okay, so the power of the people here, right? They find a way to get out, and I guess it doesn't really say a lot about the strength of the lockdown here for the school, but that's another story. But it also sounds like the students weren't aware that there was some sort of safety threat and that there was a potential that somebody had called in a threat for some sort of drive-by shooting. So in your view, did the students believe the lockdown was in regard to their protest, that school officials did not want them to walk out? They did not want them to protest. They did not want them outside of the school doing whatever it is that they were planning to do, and the students felt like they were trying to be contained inside that school.
100%. I also think something interesting to note here is that the parents also felt that way. I would say that both the students and the parents, the statement that they released, obviously, and I get why they can't get into specifics, but there was a lot of confusion, and the general perception from the students and parents involved with this protest, for me at least, talking to them, and I talked to a fair amount of middle school students as well as a fair amount of parents, they all thought that the reason they were trying to lock them in the school was because of the protest, was because that could get some sort of danger, and that was honestly creating some increased anger. I think they probably should have specified there was a major public safety threat, because it was creating more tension and anger than perhaps it needed to when it came to keeping the kids in the school. So
yeah, anger, confusion, because you have some that wanted to protest, and then what about the kids that did not want to be a part of it but didn't know what to do? So I could see why there's a lot of confusion, but it also seems like the staff wasn't ready to counter what they were going to do.
Well, yes, exactly. And I spoke to a parent even who went to go get her child because he had a dentist appointment in Madison today, and they were really hesitant to let any kids out of the school. It was very difficult to remove those kids from the school, so I talked to her as well.
They wouldn't let him leave due to the protest. The protest was planned. He has a dentist appointment in Madison, so he has to leave today. They didn't let him out. I finally got him after I raised hell at the front door.
Yeah, so there was just a lot of confusion, and a lot of people, if they were not interested in participating in the protest or didn't know even what was going on, because, not everyone was involved, it was just a really, I suppose, disorienting experience for both the students that did want to protest, which, is a right, but they're in school, so I get it, and then also, students who did not want to protest and perhaps weren't aware of even what's happening, so there's a lot of conflict today.
Feels
very
like there's
dramatic.
Some sort of gap in communication there. I mean, I think if the mother that you just played, that sound clip, if she understood that her son and all the other kids were being locked out of the school because of this potential threat, that's a different story. Okay, all right, well, you do your business here, but it seems like everybody felt it was due to the protest, and that's what led to a lot of confusion. When things happen at my daughter's school, if there is some sort of lockdown, even if there's a planned active shooter training drill, and it still sounds chilling to even say that our schools have to do this and feel the need to do this.
Like that, yeah.
We get a note. We get some sort of email. It is immediate, and an alert goes off on my phone instructing us on what is happening at the school. So I don't know if those systems are in place in Watertown. I'm not familiar with it, but it seems like there was some sort of communication gap that led to the confusion and chaos outside that school today.
Yeah. I have the statement pulled up in front of me, and they said, out of an abundance of caution, we've placed a cautionary lock, but then they've increased a police presence. Again, there's a rumored threat was kind of the system. So I don't think that it wasn't clear that there was this like drive-by shooting threat. They said it was a rumored threat, and a rumored threat could mean a walkout in vague, simple terms. Like a rumored threat could mean, trying to prevent this lockout from happening, or this walkout from happening, and not that there was like a serious public safety, almost an emergency that could have actually put these kids in danger that they had to investigate. I understand that. But then there was also like announcements that they were going to be locked in for the rest of the day. And then at that point, I imagine that the students decided to force their way out.
Well, you left there about 1:15 or so. The day is probably winding down right around now, the next hour or so. Was it your impression as you were leaving that people were filing back into the school, that the school day would resume, or were people still kind of hanging out outside as you were leaving?
Yeah, so the school day was going on the whole time, and the students at any point were welcome and encouraged to go back to class. They were welcome back in the school at any time. I also got that from a school official, was that they are welcome to return, and there were still many students within the school that were learning and having a normal day at school. For those that walked out, some of them got called out from their parents. Some of their parents were there, keeping an eye on them, supporting them in their decision to protest today. I would imagine I didn't see any sort of urgency to go back to school today. But again, I left at 1:15, so maybe they did. I think a couple of them went to lunch. So it really just kind of depends, I guess, on the kid and the parent. But there were many students today at Riverside Middle School that just had a normal day. So,
well, thanks for hustling out there, and thanks for the clarification on what actually happened out at that middle school. Elizabeth Linden, we appreciate it. It's 2:26. News coming up.
Thanks.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Vince Vitrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. You should see what our new floors look like. And you can. But let's talk about you first. Whether you want to tighten things up before selling your house or you want to be more comfortable in your forever home, start at Hunt's Flooring. Our new hardwood floors are in. We could not be happier that we chose local, family-owned Hunt's Flooring. Text FLOOR to 855-616-1620 and I'll send you the before and after pics. Hunt's is ready for your project right now. Tell them Vinny sent you. Highway 100 in Greenfield, huntsflooring.com.
I started our landscaping company, Brett Ochtenhagen's Seasonal Services, in 1994. We have other businesses, a trucking company, investment properties, and we board and raise quarter horses. I met Chris from Horicon Bank over 20 years ago, and we really hit it off. A few years back, we made our largest capital commitment ever. Chris understood our vision, supported it, and 5 years later, our annual equipment maintenance costs are down, and our fleet is amazing. Chris and Horicon Bank helped make that happen.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be a million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, May 15th. Your top story, charged with killing a Milwaukee County public safety officer.
I'm Telly Hughes, making progress on museum construction.
74 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. A judge in New York has declared a mistrial in a case that accused Harvey Weinstein of raping an aspiring actress in 2013. It comes after the jury fell into a deadlock, 3 in favor of conviction, 9 opposed. Weinstein had previously been convicted of the crime, but that verdict was overturned. In a briefing this afternoon, the Centers for Disease Control says currently there are no cases of the hantavirus in the U.S. related to the outbreak on that Dutch cruise ship. However, more than 40 Americans remain under observation by health officials. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel explains why.
This really is about the incubation period of the virus, so how long it potentially could take for someone to catch the virus and then show up with symptoms. And 42 days is a long time relative to other viruses.
Meanwhile, the CDC also says it's closely monitoring an outbreak of Ebola in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which has been linked to more than 60 deaths. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:31. The man accused of killing a Milwaukee County public safety officer last week, making his first court appearance. 29-year-old Princeton Underwood charged with first-degree intentional homicide for allegedly shooting 56-year-old Dennis Johnson while he was driving over a dispute. Underwood's bond has been set at $250,000. He's due in court next week, Thursday.
Amazon plans to build an additional small fulfillment center in the city of Milwaukee.
The new application filed on Wednesday would bring an Amazon Now to an industrial building in the River West neighborhood. The centers are designed to complete deliveries of things such as common groceries and household items in as quick as 30 minutes. It's the second Amazon Now being planned in Milwaukee, along with a location in the Menominee Valley, and part of a larger rollout of the centers in cities across the country. Amazon officials haven't said when either new Milwaukee location could come online. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
UW Milwaukee revising and delaying plans to merge its student centers after overwhelming opposition from students.
The original plan would have consolidated 8 programs like the Women's Resource Center and Black Student Cultural Center all under one hub. But students say the specific identities of each center are what make them effective, and that one hub would create privacy and accessibility concerns. Even some donors who support specific centers say they would cease contributions if the consolidation happens. UWM has now pushed back its timeline and plans to keep the centers individual, but still move them all to the ground floor of the Student Union by fall 2027. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity says affordable housing impacts far more than just where families live. Leaders gathered Thursday morning in Milwaukee's Midtown neighborhood to continue working on new affordable homes. Al Smith, chief operator for Milwaukee Habitat, tells WTMJ.
To be truthfully honest, a lot of people don't even see themselves being able to afford a home because of the rising cost. I'm so glad that, through our partnerships with Milwaukee County, all of our volunteers and philanthropic, community coming together, we're able to help subsidize to bring down that cost and to make homes really affordable for people.
Milwaukee County says more than 100 homes are currently being developed through partnerships in Milwaukee neighborhoods.
The future home at the Milwaukee Public Museum starting to take shape.
Crews are making major progress inside the new Nature and Culture Museum of Wisconsin, with work advancing on exhibit floors, the butterfly vivarium, and a massive staircase and central light well that stretch through the building. Museum president and CEO Ellen Sensky.
Every time I come in, there's a new wall or something's finished. I mean, it's pretty incredible how fast it goes.
The Milwaukee Public Museum will close in early January, with the new museum at 6th and McKinley scheduled to open in about a year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
You can search for the biggest bat selection, but I'm here to save you time because the best baseball and softball bat selection in the Midwest is right here at Burkhart Sporting Goods. We stock just about every bat on the market from all the top manufacturers like Easton, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Marucci, and more, and sell them all at the guaranteed lowest prices. So get in here and try a few out in our indoor batting cages. There's no need to look any further because when it comes to bats, if you want it, we got it at Burkhart Sporting Goods.
You can't beat Burkhart.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spirit wear is vital. That's why Burkhart Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spirit wear from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take the hassle out of coordinating your team's apparel and make shopping and buying easy. So when you need awesome spirit wear and uniforms for your organization, you can't beat Burkhart.
You can't beat Burkhart.
We're in the Twin Cities. Double the dingers, double the hype, and wait, does that say triple digits?
Is 0-2 pitch. Struck him out swinging. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. 102, 103, 103. See you later.
The crew heads to Minnesota for a showdown against the Twins. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Spring into better vision at Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. All starts with a comprehensive eye exam from a skilled optometrist. Takes a look at your eye health and overall well-being. Need glasses, contacts, maybe both? At Shopko Optical, get expert care and the perfect eyewear for your lifestyle, all in one convenient visit. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I go to the one at Hales Corners. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam. Shopko Optical, partners in your eye care.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Brewers begin a 3-game series against the Twins tonight in Minneapolis. Milwaukee pitching the third best ERA in all of baseball at the quarter point of the season. Jacob Mizorowski leads all of baseball in strikeouts.
Incredible to watch him take the next step in his career. I mean, he's putting himself in a category here that's really special. He's doing things that a lot of players in our franchise history have not accomplished. So again, it's a huge credit to him and what he's, the work that he's put in. I mean, he's done a tremendous job this offseason to come in and be ready to go, and he's one of the best pitchers in the league right now.
That's Brewers President of Baseball Operations Matt Arnold. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:35. Packers begin the regular season on the road against the Vikings. 3:25 kick Sunday, September 13th. The home opener scheduled in Week 3, a Thursday night contest against the Atlanta Falcons. Taking a look at your roads, a WTMJ Time Saver traffic update. Things starting to pick up here from a volume perspective. And along with that, you got a couple of vehicles off to the side of the road, disabled vehicles. Looks like most have been cleaned up. However, there is one northbound here, 4394 at Holt Avenue. Left shoulder blocked due to a disabled vehicle. It's off to the side of the road. It is out of the way of traffic. It's not really impeding anything. Had some major delays, 43 southbound, due to a disabled vehicle right around Beecher. Looks like that's been cleared up. You are still sort of on and off the brakes once you get south of the interchange on 43 heading toward the airport. I would say usual delays as you're kind of moving through that area. The heaviest stretch appears to be right around Beecher and National, somewhere in that area, or Lapham, I should say. Westbound 94 starting to see on the brakes here about 35th Street and off the brakes once you get to Mitchell. Westbound 94, if you're coming into downtown, starting to slow down a little bit around 76th Street, and things start to free up a little bit once you get past the stadium. Back on the brakes around 35th until you get to about 27th or 13th. So a little on and off as you're heading into downtown.
Here is the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, chance of showers and storms, mostly cloudy with a low of 56. Tomorrow, slight chance of morning storms, sunny and warm with a high of 82. Sunday, mostly cloudy with a chance of storms, high of 77. Monday, partly cloudy once again, warm and humid with a high of 86. Tuesday, chance of showers, storms, high of 83. In Milwaukee, it's currently 72 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:39.
So if you've ever made the trip up 41 or down 41 through Oshkosh, right across the street, across the freeway from the EAA at Whitman Airport is this beautiful, well, at one time it was beautiful, but a large outlet mall, the Oshkosh Outlets. You pass by it every time you're driving past EAA in Oshkosh. You can't miss it. There's a nice mini golf course that is sort of front-facing on the freeway, and then you get all these stores. Like
Didn't they have a
80
Nike
stores.
outlet there?
They did have a Nike outlet. And they had a Nautica and a Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger. This was like the place to shop when I was in college in the early 2000s. Well, fair to say that malls in the early 2000s are very different than malls today. The Oshkosh Outlet Mall is coming down. The Oshkosh Common Council voted just days ago to raise the outlet mall. If you drive by, and I would drive by frequently if I made a return trip to Oshkosh or trips up to Green Bay for a Packers game or something like that, you drive by the outlet mall, and the one thing I noticed over the last several years driving by the outlet mall is how few vehicles were in the parking lot. Because not even close to half occupancy at the Oshkosh Outlet Mall. I mean, this thing was just falling apart. You could not find permanent residents. It dwindled the traffic down to nearly nothing. There was no real food options in that area. There was just no reason to do your shopping at the outlet malls in Oshkosh. It just became a sinking ship. So now moving into that space is a 272,000 square foot Woodman's. So Woodman's based out of Janesville, and they've got stores in Menominee Falls and a variety of stores, about a dozen or so throughout the state of Wisconsin. Well, their 12th store will be at the site of the Oshkosh Outlet Mall. And you know exactly what I'm talking about if you've ever made that trip down or north on 41.
Yeah. No, I've been there. I was just making sure we were talking about the same one. I remember when I was calling G League games for the Wisconsin Herd, and I would make the trip up to Oshkosh a couple times. But that is very interesting because I don't know. I mean, of course, you know the area better than me. Do you think that a grocery store off a highway right there is that a good location for people in Oshkosh to get to?
So they're calling it a commercial subdivision. Okay, so that's a new term for me. And it does paint a picture of something more than just a store.
Okay.
So the mini golf course is staying. For those who really like mini golf in Oshkosh, I don't think you have many options. And this is actually a pretty nice mini golf course. So that will stay as part of this whole footprint. You'll also have a big car wash. You will have some residential, you'll have some business. They own the lots to some neighboring plots of land where they could really beef up development. If you've ever been near the Costco in Menominee Falls, that's kind of what I picture. You've got Costco, you've got a bit of a strip mall, you've got some food options, you've got some businesses, you've got some residential. It's all kind of mixed into one. And that, I think, is ultimately what this is going to be. But phase one of the construction project is this Woodman's, along with the car wash. Gas station is going to be there as well. Okay. So it'll definitely get the traffic. Having grown up from 18 to 22 in Oshkosh as a student, I can tell you this: there were not a lot of grocery store options. We had a Cub food, and I think the B in Cub was I think the light was out on that for 4 of my years in Oshkosh. Right? It was just not a very nice grocery store.
So you said CU food, then,
exactly.
Huh?
It's just not a great place to shop. So they're going to add this with construction beginning in early 2027. Or I should say, it's been approved in May, and construction is expected to begin in 2027. Might take about a year or so before this thing actually opens up. But it also brings into mind the outlet mall situation in the state of Wisconsin. I think of a few areas. I think of Pleasant Prairie, right near the border, ton of traffic, a lot of people down in that area, and they are doing well. It's about 90 stores in that area, and the parking lot's always packed. You've got Johnson Creek, which I would argue is kind of falling out of favor with shoppers. I don't think it's near what it was. I think they are hurting, not to the point of Oshkosh, at least not yet, but there aren't as many stores occupying the space there. And then you have the Dells. And I think the Dells primarily does well because sometimes you're there for tourism, you're there for tournaments, for youth sports. You've got 4 hours in between games. What do you do? and that becomes a thing to do. And there's some good options there that caters to that crowd traveling in. But it's not as flourishing a space as it once was. And, this Oshkosh development, I think Oshkosh and the people that own the outlet mall probably feel pretty good about their chance to get out of what was a sinking ship.
And not just Oshkosh, but I wonder just across the board with outlet malls. I mean, with the emergence of online shopping and the way that is so popular now, that, people don't feel like they have to go 30, 40, 50 miles sometime to go get a really good deal on a pair of shoes or something, where they can just go online and click it and get a similar deal. And so I think that has a lot to do with it as well, because no one is really retail shopping anymore like that. Most people are just picking up their device or going online and ordering whatever they want.
No, we say goodbye to the outlet mall in Oshkosh. It's 2:45. We celebrate an everyday hero after this.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. And there's just such beauty in it, If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
Hey, Greg Matzek here. I want to tell you a great story about my friends at Inspired Closets Milwaukee. I reached out to them when our master closet was becoming a disaster area. You know what I'm talking about here, right? Things just always feeling like they're out of place. Even when we tried to declutter, it felt like we were just sort of moving things around, and the stuff that was folded never stayed folded long enough. Our shoes were on display, our laundry hampers. I had a big clunky dresser in there. It was just not a welcoming space. So I went to Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets Milwaukee, and I said, what can you do here? I brought pictures. They looked at it. They laughed and said, this is what we do. This is what we do. We can turn this into an organizational dream for you. Let us go to work. Well, they came over, did some measurements. They plotted out a plan for our master closet. They put it to 3D, and before you know it, we had a beautiful design that we were actually able to walk through virtually. Put on the goggles out at their showroom, and I got to vision the space. I could do everything really but open a drawer or a closet. And it was an amazing process. We loved it with Inspired Closets Milwaukee. So think about that area or areas in your house that could use a little organizational TLC. And then think about how Inspired Closets Milwaukee can help you like they did for us. Laundry room, pantry, linen closet, front hall closet, that master closet that's been an eyesore for years like it was for us, or even spaces in your garage. Visit and connect with InspiredCloset.Milwaukee.com.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Stormfisher with Stormfisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory. Take your family to the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford for the all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry for $8.99. Wow. You'll pay twice that elsewhere. Desserts are buy one, get one free. Google The Mineshaft. Call and reserve your table, The Mineshaft.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 19th.
Fly ball center field. It's hit well. Grisham back. It is gone!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
Got him swinging. Threw him a curveball. It's 11 Ks for Mizorowski.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in May 19th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Jacob Montesano with your 5-day storm team forecast. For tonight, we're going to see some showers and thunderstorms move into our area after midnight with a low of 56. Some lingering showers into Saturday morning, but by Saturday afternoon will be dry with a high of 82. Then a small chance of some isolated storms south of Milwaukee Saturday evening. More showers and thunderstorms Sunday, mainly for areas west and north of Milwaukee, a high of 77. Then Monday we'll have a high of 86 with a few rounds of showers and thunderstorms, one in the evening, then one at night. And then as we get towards Tuesday, a few lingering showers and thunderstorms with a high of 83. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Jacob Montesano.
74 right now and sunny in Milwaukee at 250.
An everyday hero is when Wisconsin's morning news celebrates an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to North Providence, Rhode Island. Samir Santana is a 7-year-old first grader. It was snack time at the school. He was eating at one of the tables with his friends when all of a sudden he noticed some commotion across the room surrounding his friend Jabril.
I saw him choking. My teacher told me to calm down and everyone sit down. She said she's going to call for help.
Samir tells NBC 10 WJAR he saw that his friend Jabril was choking. He decided he should do something about it.
And I came and ran and did the Heimlich on him.
That's right, you just heard that correctly. This first grader, the 7-year-old, says he did the Heimlich, and it worked. His friend spit out the little piece of apple that was stuck in his throat. He is now okay. He saved his life. How did Samir know how to do that?
When I was in kindergarten, I got it taught by my health teacher.
He learned about it in kindergarten. Samir was honored for saving his friend's life by the school, by first responders. There was even a city proclamation. The mayor was on hand.
So it's so important that everyone should know what this gentleman did, what he represents, and hopefully it'll inspire other students.
What's so great about this story and about little Samir is that his mom, when asked about what he did, admitted she was a little surprised.
As a 7-year-old, I don't really expect for him to know something like that. So for me, it was just a shocking moment. There was really no words.
But perhaps the best part of the story is when Samir was asked, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Police officer.
Well, you are well on your way. Thank you, Samir. You, sir, are an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Azura Memory Care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Oh, it was a great story as told by WTMJ's Eric Bilstad. Eric Bilstad and Vinny will be back on Monday. We've got Wisconsin's afternoon news coming up from the auto show. So this is kind of a new spot for the auto show, typically a February event. In fact, I even asked my wife, what happened to the auto show in February? Because we used to do broadcasts from there when there'd be promos, you'd see billboards and all that kind of stuff. I did a little digging and I said, oh yeah, that's right, it moved to State Fair Park. So John and Julia will be live from the auto show coming up, getting us up to Brewers baseball. I love the auto show as a kid, and I still do kind of as an adult.
Yeah, it's kind of like the PGA Championship. They just moved it, and all of a sudden it throws off everybody.
Well, I'm sure they told people, and I knew I at some point knew about it, but ultimately I just sort of forgot. But yes, you've got the auto show happening this weekend, also in a new location at Wisconsin State Fair Park, so that should be a lot of fun. As for the PGA Championship, yes, this is now a May event and not an August event, which means the chances of it coming back to Wisconsin are very remote. Aldrich Potgeider is your leader right now at 5 under par. Hideki Matsuyama, Scotty Scheffler, 1 and 2 shots off the pace. We are out of time in today's program. Telly, thanks for hanging out the last couple of days. Been fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Jessica will be back on Monday, as will we here on Wisconsin's Midday News. If you missed any bit of our show at any point today or this week, check out our podcast page, Built by Siding Unlimited. Subscribe. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Our YouTube channel is also cooking. Our subscribers are starting to grow. We really appreciate you. Your ability to watch our show each and every day happens on YouTube or by simply texting the word watch to our talk and text line 855-616-1620. Hope you all have a great weekend. Brewers baseball, don't forget the early start tonight. Our coverage gets underway at 5:35, following an abbreviated Wisconsin's afternoon news, which begins in just a few minutes here on WTMJ.
This is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. Your home should be the one place that you feel completely comfortable and safe, but old, drafty windows can steal that feeling. At Ridgetop Exteriors, we bring that peace of mind back. As Wisconsin's leading Pella Premier contractor, we install beautiful, secure windows and doors that can save you up to 40% on your energy bills. Get a home full of new Pella windows for as low as $198 a month. Learn more at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Hey, remember when your basement was just for storage? WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. With Matrix Basement Finishing, they turn that empty space into the heart of your home. It's what they did for us. Whether it's a cozy family movie night or cheering on your favorite team during the best time of the year to watch sports. From the design consultation to picking out your perfect flooring and fixtures, the process is seamless and done at your home. Get the quality craftsmanship you deserve with no payments until 2028. And visit matrixbasements.com.
Acunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own Acunet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically 1